So if a cow does not produce milk, is it a milk dud or an utter failure?
A twofer.
Right.
A twofer. Don't make fun of milk duds. I love milk duds.
Those get stuck in your teeth, though. Those are like probably the leading cause of like my crown came off for dentists. No more milk duds for you.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been, for me, it's been just anecdotally, it's been 12-year-old starbursts.
Yeah, right.
That are just rock hard. I mean, you could turn them in. You could make like tiles in a kitchen out of them.
Oh, those are still good. No.
Wait, and what's in milk? What's in milk duds?
They're like
what's the
they're
dud?
chocolate covered.
Caramel, isn't it?
No, it's like
Nougat?
No,
No?
it's the opposite. It's like I want to call it dust, but it's not dust. It's like it's chocolate covered. It's like a
it's caramel and milk chocolate.
Really?
Yes.
A milk dust? Oh, yeah.
Like
what am I
Werther's.
thinking of? What's the one that's a chocolate covered
Dust?
it's like a wafer on the inside or something? Those Whoppers? What are Whoppers?
yeah, Whoppers.
You're
Whoppers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Whoppers.
Malted milk
Yeah, malted milk balls.
Those are the
What are
best.
those? What's inside those?
That's like
Sawdust.
puffed
That's what I see. Yeah,
malty deliciousness. I don't know.
Yeah.
Malty sawdust.
it's like flavored
So good.
sawdust.
Oh, I love it. This sawdust tastes like malt.
All right, we got lots to get to this morning, but this one takes the cake from the Country Club Car Wash text line from 31 minutes ago. Excuse me. Good morning, Carl and Rose. Love listening to you from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Got here last night after a 27-hour travel time. It's 6:35 p.m. Wednesday night here. TV stinks, so we're listening to you, Chris and Scott.
7 p.m. there now.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris and Scott.
So there you go. Hello from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Boy, what a small world we live in. All right, we've got lots of things to go. But first, we would like to dedicate today's show to a sweetheart of a woman who was on the show a little over a year ago, maybe? Was it about a year ago or so?
April or May?
Yeah. The woman who, her name is Brittany, and she runs the candy store Charm Me Sweet. And she was a listener, went into the store and found Reggie bars and told me about it. And I went into this store on, is it on Macklin down in South City?
Macklin between Neosho and Eichelberg.
She lives on Delore, but the store is on Macklin.
And she's okay, by the way.
Nottingham,
This isn't
Nottingham and
the
Neosho.
dedication part.
And so it is the most adorable candy store. And she's been going strong for 8 years. And she announced on, I guess, Facebook that after 8 years, she's closing Charm Me Sweet. And I guess this is her last week? Is that?
She's going to stay open until her inventory is gone. And then she's going to sell the fixtures.
Yeah, she's going to sell everything that's not bolted down to the ground. And so let me just read the post for you. She says, I've made the hard decision to close Charm Me Sweet. This business has been one of the greatest joys in my life, and I'm incredibly grateful for every customer who has supported me and helped me make this dream possible. We've had 8 wonderful years, but due to rising costs and changes in the current business climate, it is no longer sustainable for me to continue operating in the way I needed to. I want to see you come out strong and support the shop for its final week. I look forward to thanking each of you in person. You guys are my second family. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being a great part of this journey. With love and gratitude, Brittany. Fixtures, shelves, and displays will also be for sale. Come secure a cool memento. This closure includes our Wonder Shop, which they had a little toy shop next door. Don't be taking any of those Reggie bars. Save some of those for somebody else. This woman is a sweetheart for numerous reasons. We had her on the show after I went and visited the shop. We invited her on the show, and one of the things that I don't think a lot of people caught was how she opened the show, or how she opened the store. One of the early things was she befriended a gentleman in her neighborhood who was a senior citizen living alone, an old curmudgeon, right? This is like a movie waiting to happen or a TV show waiting to start. And he was very anti everything. Get off my lawn. Very, angry at the world and didn't trust anybody and was, sort of like I don't know, say a scared cat in the corner, but a scared dog in the corner lashing out at anybody who would try and help him. And that's how I interpreted the story. And Brittany came along and was just a friendly person to him. And then they became friends. And she helped, she went shopping for the man, and she, helped do his laundry every once in a while. And that then ultimately led to, I think he was living in the building or somehow connected. And then that then sort of, she started bringing him candy, and she saw how much candy the joy was. And then she ultimately decided to make the plunge and open up the candy store. So, right, it was in this era of everybody hating everybody. Here are two people who wouldn't normally be friends become friends and started her on a journey she would otherwise have not been on. So, I'd like to dedicate today's show to Charm Me Sweet Candy Store, and I will be heading over there in the next 24 to 48 hours with a 5-year-old who has no idea yet, but is about to get loaded up with a whole bunch of candy. So there you go. All right, that's sad. But you know what? She's going to go on and do whatever she wants to do, and she's always welcome here. All right. It is 6:13 here, Big 550 KTRS. I went to bed last night with a person of that sounds weird.
Whoa.
I went to bed last night.
A person of interest.
And there was a person of interest in the Savannah Guthrie missing mom case. I did not go to bed with a person of interest.
Trust me, she was not interesting.
I woke up. I went to bed with a person of interest. I woke up with somebody who was not interested. Not interested. Yeah. And so that right. And when I went to bed, they were outside the poor guy's house, and they were interviewing his mother. And I thought to myself, this is not the guy. This is not some mastermind who was able to pull off this heist. And so you woke up in the morning, and it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, where they announced that they have released him and have no longer called him a person of interest. And you've heard ABC News at the top of the hour say, they're really sort of back to square one, really. They released the photos and they released the video, but after this sort of got people's attention, maybe, could be, hopefully, turns out that it was not the person. But it's nice to know that there's a town called Rio Rico on the border.
Rich River?
Yeah, holy mackerel, that town. All right, so you got that going on. On the show tonight, the show this evening, whatever I'm doing, this morning, this afternoon.
Well, you do both.
Jim Ryan, the Winter Olympics. Did you? All right, we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. Rich Frankel is going to be joining us, the latest on the Savannah Guthrie story, with the photos and now the person of interest being released and everything else. Stephen Portnoy's got the funding package to end the shutdown. That's Stephen Portnoy. Steve Holly's going to be joining us from Guns N' Hoses. How about this? They donated $1 million to Backstoppers. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet little deal, so we'll check in with him. Randy Carricker is going to be joining us. And then Benjamin Singer is I guess he's an activist, a good government activist. And we'll talk to him about, he's trying to do a number of things, get some signatures in the state going to get some type of ballot initiative to sort of create good governance and campaign finance reform and all those types of things. So we'll check in with him coming up here at 9:10. And then your phone calls. So it's all that. 6:16 here, Big 550, KTRS. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, there's a slowdown on 70 East in Wright City or from Wright City to Highway W in Forestel due to construction. On 370 West at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. 5570 East is reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange in East St. Louis and Illinois 203. That's for road work. And the ramp from 64 West to 5570, which is exit 3 on the east side, is closed for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years. For all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. What a nice taste of spring, but we have colder weather on the way. It's not bad at all, but I think you'll want the jacket again. Low of 30 degrees in the morning and a high of 50 with mostly sunny skies. That's a nice day and above normal, but again, not quite as mild as our Tuesday. Thursday's a little cooler, 31 for the low, 47 for the high under mostly cloudy to overcast skies. There's about a 30% chance to catch a shower in the afternoon to early evening. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Heidi is going to Greenland, and she wants you to go with her. She's taking a bunch of KTRS listeners, and tonight at Altair Travel and Cruises, they have their sort of get-together to find out more. If you're curious, if you're interested, this is a great way to go and sort of see and hear and find out if Iceland is everything you want it to be. And so tonight at Altair Travel and Cruises, swing on by. You should probably call ahead. Go to the website, altairtravel.com, and reserve a seat for yourself so they know how much food to bring and they know how many cups to bring because you might like a little cocktail along the way. It's a great way to sort of talk to the travel agents and talk to the tour company and sort of get a good sense. They're also doing that tomorrow night with Mike Ward as he takes a bunch of KTRS listeners on a wine cruise down the Danube River. How about that? That is a fun time. That's Altair Travel and Cruises. You're watching the Olympics. You seeing how beautiful northern Italy is? You getting a little itch? Like, well, I wouldn't. You know what? That looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. Altair Travel and Cruises. Whether northern Italy, southern Italy, you want to check out Switzerland and then ski into Italy, yeah, you can do that too. Altair Travel and Cruises. Maybe, how about a little Switzerland, France, Italy? Yeah, that's a nice little deal too. All of it's possible with one simple phone call to Altair Travel and Cruises, 314-968-9600. You and I wouldn't know how to do it, but Altair does. We know how to have a little cocktail and sit in the French Riviera and enjoy the views, right? Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. AltairTravel.com.
At Tropical World Pets, you're not just getting a pet, you're diving into an extraordinary experience. Located in Webster Groves, they boast St. Louis's largest selection of freshwater fish and aquatic plants, a stunning tank showroom, and the Midwest's most extensive tarantula collection. From crested geckos to bearded dragons, they offer the area's best captive-bred reptiles. Visit them and feel the tropical difference. Tropical World Pets. Explore more by calling 314-849-4020 or at twpstl.com. That's twpstl.com.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemaristudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemaristudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
The final stretch of your career isn't about slowing down. It's about getting strategic. Those last 5 years before retirement can define your financial future, from maximizing contributions and paying off high-interest debt to mapping out health care and testing your post-retirement budget. This is your moment to take control. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you connect all the moving parts. Real peace of mind starts long before your final paycheck. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Pioneer Wealth Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated. Life insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Managing attorney of Milton Law Group, STL tax lawyer Mark Milton is widely recognized as one of the top tax resolution attorneys in the country. Mark and his team provide trusted legal representation to troubled taxpayers, specializing in tax debt resolution, tax audit defense, and unfiled tax returns. For a local solution to your IRS problems, contact STL tax lawyer Mark Milton by visiting stltaxlawyer.com.
Choice of a lawyer's an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, 6:23 here, Big 550 KTRS. I don't know if you heard this. I don't know if ABC News had this with all the news going on with Nancy Guthrie and everything else. But last night, the FAA abruptly issued a temporary flight restriction, immediately grounding all flights to and from El Paso, Texas. The shutdown is likely to be a bit of a disruption. The sudden pause is mentioned for special security reasons. Now, any pilot who is seen inside the El Paso airspace is subject to arrest, suspension, criminal charges, and the U.S. government, quote, may use deadly force if an aircraft poses an immediate security threat. The agency issued these restrictions on short notice, and ground aviation flights will be grounded until February 20th. This is everything, even medical supplies. Right, they medevac organs and people to and from and everything else. Everything is completely shut down. Now you think to yourself, well, El Paso, it's a dusty little airport with a couple of chickens on the runway as the propeller plane takes off, and there's a Coke machine that hasn't worked since 1974 there. That's not true. El Paso is the 6th largest city in Texas. 700,000 people. El Paso, the city of El Paso. It's also it's one of the 25 largest cities in the United States. If you take in all of the surrounding neighborhoods and sort of metropolitan area, it is a major hub when it comes to cross-border commerce. Nearly 3.5 million passengers pass through the El Paso International Airport on any given year. And this closure for 10 days is going to be extremely disruptive for with not just passengers, not just somebody going to see grandma for the holidays or for President's Day or whatever. It's going to be, you've got materials and, right? I mean, all that stuff is going to be sort of stopped. So we'll see what this does. So that's the news coming out of El Paso. I love this story. Did you watch the Olympics last night? Did you see the Norwegian biathlete?
No.
Okay, the biathlon is the race, ski and shoot.
Okay.
So you carry your rifle, you shoot, you do a lap, you come back, you shoot, you do another lap, you come back and shoot. Sturla Holm Lagreed won the bronze medal from Norway. He's a Norwegian Olympian. Actually, he's quite good. I think he won the gold last time. In the post-game interview, they're talking to a Norwegian state television, and they're asking him how he feels about winning the bronze medal for his home country. And he breaks down and starts crying and says, I have a confession. 3 months ago, I cheated on my girlfriend.
No.
Yes.
No.
He says, and I told her 1 month ago, and I'm trying to do everything humanly possible to get my girlfriend back. And this might seem like social suicide, but this is the only way I can tell her I love her. Now, she left. When he told her a month ago that he cheated on her, she left him. And now the guy's trying to do everything humanly possible to get his girlfriend back.
Oh,
he said, I had a gold medal life, and I ruined it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the reporter was just like, right? Like, he's like, so how do you, and just launched into this. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Confessed live on television to cheating on his girlfriend.
Gosh, you know what, though? It's so sad. Like, I get the grand gesture, but
do you take
sorry,
her back?
Buddy. No way. Nope.
Now,
not because just because she left, there's more to it. I'm sure there's more to it than that. And just because he asked her.
Well, I can hear my grandma saying, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Well,
but also, at least she didn't find out on television.
Yeah,
no,
she's that would. Could you imagine?
Well, and then here's the cynic in me. How many more women are going to want to go out with this guy? Yeah. There's a bunch of women who are like, oh, I'll date you. I'll date you.
Well, you know what, too? And then that just makes it look like, do you want her back out of pity or because she genuinely wants to be with you? Like, like that grand gesture. It's same thing with, like, proposing to someone on the Jumbotron.
Right.
Man,
yeah.
you better be 1,000% sure that she's, going to say yes and be okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like...
No, I hear you.
The plan is to say yes and then
but
dump them later.
afterwards, in the news conference somebody stood up and was like, it's been an hour and a half later. Do you still feel the same way? He's like, he apologized to the gold medal winner. He's like, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. But yes, we'll see if it works. But yes, I'm glad I did what I did.
He's like, if you would have won gold, maybe, but bronze, no.
Holy mackerel, right? I cheated on my girlfriend. Please take me back. You won the gold medal. Well, how do you feel? I cheated on my girlfriend. Please have her take me back. 6:30, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul Kopsky.
Good morning, McGraw. The roads are looking good right now with no accidents. We just have a few construction notes. On 370 West at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. 5570 East is reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange in East St. Louis and Illinois 203 for road work. And the ramp from 64 West to 5570, which is exit 3 on the east side, is closed for road work. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
31 degrees right now. Hey, we're going to warm up today. It's going to be, dare I say, almost like air conditioner worthy. It's going to be high today. Oh, no, not too bad. It's going to be high today at 50. Sorry about that. I was thinking yesterday. Sorry about that. We're back down. We're in the cool down area. High of 50 today. Overnight tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, 53. We'll be in the 50s through the weekend. Maybe some afternoon rain on Saturday and Sunday. Man, we need it to clean things off a little bit. It is 30 31 degrees at 6:31. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
A school shooting in British Columbia has left 7 people dead, with 2 more found dead at a nearby home. Authorities say the suspected shooter, a woman, also died. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police report over 25 people injured, with 2 in critical condition after the attack at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. Governor Tim Walz says the federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota could end soon. He said he spoke with top Trump administration officials, including Border Czar Tom Homan and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. In local headlines, the University of Missouri is planning to sell naming rights to Memorial Stadium. Tiger Athletics announced yesterday that it will move forward with securing corporate naming rights to the stadium. And the Budweiser Guns N' Hoses Boxing Association presented a $1 million gift to Backstoppers yesterday. This marks the 5th consecutive year the donation has been at least 7 figures. 32 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Miller Furniture, Mueller, Miller Furniture, or MillerFurniture.com. Either one's going to get you to a wonderful, wonderful company that sells American-made furniture. It's as simple as that. Miller Furniture, 4 area locations. Fairview Heights, that's the mattress headquarters. They got mattresses in all of them, but that's the world headquarters for mattresses. So you want to buy a mattress, Fairview Heights is where you want to go. They always got deals. They got those bases that are movable, right? So you can prop your head up, put your feet up. It's actually really, I got to be honest with you, it's really kind of nice, actually. They've got Ellisville on Manchester Road, Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows. That's a great place. And then, of course, their world headquarters in Belleville. Any one of the 4 will take care of you. But that's the point. Any one of the 4 will take care of you with quality American-made furniture. They've got name brands. They've got quality. They've got deals. They've got financing. They don't have salespeople. They have interior designers, and that's a big difference. They also have customer service. They also have been doing this 100 years. They'll do it right. Miller Furniture. If you're looking for furniture, Miller Furniture, Mueller, MillerFurniture.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and if the new year means a new look for your home, look no further than Dowco Home Remodeling. Let me just tell you, customers could not be happier. If you're looking for new windows, Dowco Home Remodeling has you covered. If you're looking for a new door, they can custom make you a front door. They can do French doors, they can do sliding doors, and they can stain it or paint it to whatever you have going on or whatever new color you want to add. Let me just tell you about some of the happy clients. You've got Alex, who said, I had Dowco replace several windows and doors on one of my properties, did a top quality job for me, would definitely recommend. And he's just one of many. You know, Dowco Home Remodeling has been around for more than 50 years. They are family owned and family operated. So if you're ready to get your dream project underway, go to DowcoHomeRemodeling.com. You can also give them a call at 314-298-7300.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. 867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
Hey, it's Heidi, and good lighting in your home is essential. It's essential for safety, function, mood, and aesthetics. And when it comes to local lighting experts, look no further than Metro Lighting. Right now at Metro Lighting, you can enjoy an additional 20% off already reduced furniture, lamps, artwork, mirrors, and home decor through March 8th. Metro Lighting has 6 convenient locations and online at metrolightingcenters.com.
While supplies last, in-store floor models only. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty every Sunday afternoon at 1. Powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, it's 6:37 here, Big 550 KTRS. In the news, you had the story of newly minted Attorney General Catherine Hanaway going after the what's she going to the fake marijuana, right? The
THC infused candies and whatnot.
That's all the right. That's the bath salts and all that crazy stuff, right?
I guess. I mean, in my newscast, I thought it was mainly the THC. Like edibles.
It's the candy that looks like
it's all
like
that
real
stuff.
Candy.
It's all that stuff that's doing damage to all sorts of people, right? Isn't that cartoon stuff? And everything.
It's legal stuff, but it looks like a Snickers bar.
Yeah, like I think she's just being like.
And it's called Snackers or
kids
something.
shouldn't have, or kids are confusing it with real candy.
Yes.
Or something.
Oh, okay. Well, there's also that like fake marijuana they're selling behind the counter too.
The Delta 8s.
Yeah, and all that stuff. So that's not a part of this, or
no? This is the deceptive packaging. So something that
Gotcha.
looks like a Mounds bar, which is actually pot.
Gotcha. Okay.
THC products marketed towards minors.
Okay, well, at least it's a start, but she's been busy because she did that. And then yesterday, this story came along. In an ongoing and contentious effort to reclaim our communities from the harms of illegal gaming halls, Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway announced that her office has filed suit against 5 retail shops for operating illegal gambling machines and providing public access to unlicensed and unregulated games in direct violation of Missouri's Merchandising Practices Act. When retail shops turn a blind eye or facilitate a space for illegal gambling, they are not only ignoring the law, they're also putting communities at risk, said Attorney General Hanaway. Lawlessness has always been a magnet for organized crime. My office will hold any business accountable for profiting off unlawful activity and will do everything in our power to shut illegal gambling and gambling machines down. Go on to read, Missouri's law is clear. This news release from the Attorney General's office. Missouri's law is clear. It is illegal to provide access to unregulated machines and games for gambling purposes. The Attorney General's office, working in collaboration with local officials who are pursuing criminal charges, is filing 5 lawsuits against retail shops in Dunklin County. Yeah, this is the one I've been calling on for all these weeks. These businesses have knowingly advanced illegal gambling on their premises in violation of Missouri's Merchandising Practices Act and Missouri's nuanced gambling laws. Dunklin County, right? That's the one where they raided 5 different places. They took the machines, and I kept calling down to the Attorney General, the guy in charge down there, and he said, we're waiting on charges. We're waiting on charges. We're waiting on charges. We're waiting on charges. Well, I'll let you know. Nothing I can tell you. We are waiting on charges. And all through Andrew Bailey's reign, they were waiting on charges from the Missouri Highway Patrol, from this one, from that. I was getting the, look over there. It was a game of three-card Monte, in a sense. Is it over here? No, it's not over here. Go over there. No, it's not over there. So now she says these suits are being filed against Discount Spirits and Tobacco in Kennett, Dixie Package in Malden, Kennett Liquor and Tobacco in Kennett, Laura's Mini Mart in Kennett, and Swindle's Quick Shop in Malden. The two types of illegal gambling machines being had, blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth. Goes on. So she filed suit against these 5 places. Now, I have since made inquiries into the Attorney General's office to get someone on to talk about this. What does this mean? Does this mean every single place that has a illegal gambling machine? She's now deemed, her legal opinion is that they're illegal machines. And she is now charged 5 places in Dunklin County with this. Now, I guess they have to go to court or whatever else. But if I'm a owner of a bar or a restaurant and I have an unlicensed machine in my bar, restaurant area, what do I do now? If the Attorney General just sued, just brought charges against 5 of these places. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't have the answer to that question. But I mean, is this now open season? Can now Melissa Price Smith say, okay, now we're going into all the places in Ladue and Town and Country and Clayton and everywhere else in the county and just start seizing these machines? I don't know.
They're illegal, aren't they?
Right, they're illegal, and why allow Bob's Bar and Grill to keep it going, and the Kennett Tobacco Store and Liquor in Malden? Why arrest one and not all of them? Why seize a few of the machines? Stay tuned. But we'll see what happens. But that is an interesting development in the last couple of days. And now she's going after this candy, whatever. Maybe I'll tell you what, hopefully she's set down the right path. I like this. I've always liked Catherine Hanaway. You need to do a man's job, you need a woman. That's all I'm talking about. Right? All the other attorney generals were too busy running for other offices. We finally got one that actually wants to follow the law. So I applaud her. Let's keep it going. Catherine Hanaway. We asked for her to come on the show. We'll see if.
Make sure she's not blocked on your phone, would you?
Yes, I'll make sure she's not blocked on my phone. We'll see. We'll see if we can get her on the show. We'll see if I'm worthy. But hey, you know what? She doesn't have to come on. Just keep doing what you're doing. So good for her. We'll see what happens. But I thought that was some pretty big news. 6:45 here, St. Louis Cloud Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, there's a crash on 270 north before 64, blocking the 2 left lanes. 55 north is running slow at Bayless. 270 north is heavy from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. On 370 west at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And 5570 east is reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange in East St. Louis and Illinois 203 for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
from the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs into the lower 50s, mostly sunny skies into Thursday, mostly cloudy. Could see an isolated shower or two. Highs into the upper 40s, most of the region remaining dry. Friday, partly sunny, highs into the mid 50s. By Saturday, still looking at some scattered chances of showers up to 40%. 52 degrees by the afternoon hours will warm into Sunday afternoon, 57 degrees with clouds continuing to clear. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
From the 314, Catherine Hanaway is the real deal, long-term public servant. Yes, she is. Here's another one from the 972 area code. McGraw, I don't want text of the day, but you have the best show of all times. Thank you very much. You are fair and honest. I may not always agree with you, but you give everyone a chance to disagree, something the other outlets don't have the guts to do. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, 972. How about that?
Dallas.
Yeah, all the way in Dallas. Way to go. My sister does not live in Dallas, though she has a Dallas phone number. Lisi Lumber, ladies and gentlemen. Lisi Lumber has been building St. Louis since 1872. Now, they just announced that they've got these beautiful pre-assembled pergolas ready to go. Now, what does this mean? Well, if you want a pergola or some type of trellis, love me a good trellis, love me a good pergola, here's what you do. You send Lisi Lumber the dimensions. They will cut it, assemble it, tear it down, and then deliver it to you so that you can then build it yourself on your site. They're pre-assembled pergola kits at Lisi Lumber. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They also are part of the Metro East Home Builders and Remodelers Home Expo, February 27th through March 1st at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois. They're big supporters of Backstoppers, big supporters of St. Louis. Absolutely. Lisi Lumber. They've been 2 lumber yards serving the St. Louis metropolitan area and southern Illinois since 1872. What do you need to know? You need to know LisiLumber.com. Get over there. Check out these pergola kits or any type of material you need from a lumber yard. Lisi will take care of you, whether you're building the doghouse or you're in the outhouse and you got to build an outhouse for yourself. Maybe you're going to the penthouse. You want to build a penthouse suite. Lisi Lumber or LisiLumber.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Let's meet the contestants on today's dating game.
Contestant number 1. I'm upside down. What can you do for me?
Not much, but HW Kia will pay off your trade even if you owe thousands more than it's worth.
Contestant number 2. If I'm a first-timer or been turned down, what can you do for me?
Nothing, but HW Kia can get first-time buyers, customers turned down, and those with a job clearing $450 per week approved.
Contestant number 3. My monthly bill comes and it's more than I can pay. What can you do for me?
Not a thing, but you'll never overpay at HW Kia. Get a brand new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty for under $20,000.
Well, there's no contest. I choose HW Kia.
Don't be pushed into a blind deal. Pick the winner, HW Kia in West County. New Kia K4 LXS, just $19,995. Plus, bring any trade and get up to 120% over KBB fair market value. HWKia.com.
On approved credit, not all will qualify, plus tax, title, license, and 587 title and registration processing fee. Negative equity refinanced and new loan. Rebates and incentives to dealer. Offers not in combination. Expires 3/2/26.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, the Olympics continue, and it's a reprieve. It's a great outlet from all the chaos going on around the world. The 2026 Olympics in Milan continue. ABC News' Jim Ryan's been covering it from the beginning. Jim, what's the latest?
Well, the latest is that the U.S. has added another medal to its case. Ryan Cochran-Siegel has won silver in the men's Super G, the big downhill. If the name sounds familiar, Ryan Cochran-Siegel, it's because his mom, Barbara Cochran, won gold in the 1972 games in women's mogul. So this is a family tradition of skiing and winning medals at the Olympics.
That's a pretty sweet deal. What happened to Michaela Schifrin?
She cratered, I guess. She didn't have the run that she needed. She was paired up, to in the women's downhill, and just couldn't pull it off. And so, unfortunately, but at the same time, interestingly, so they came in fourth place, but Americans did take the bronze in that race in the women's downhill combined. So I mean that's good. Jackie Wiles, Paula Molson, they won the bronze. Breezy Johnson, Michaela Schifrin were just out of podium contention.
Yeah, that's a sad story, and that's turning into a bit of a albatross around her neck. This is now the second games where she's had some coming in as some of the favorites and having a hard time on the Olympic ice. So we'll watch that story. What about the quad god? How's he doing?
He's great, and he's going to be competing later this week, and he's considered a strong contender for the gold in the men's individual. And so, I think he was surprised at how well he did, several days ago. And he didn't do his quad. Now, the quad jump, he did the quad jump, which is 4 revolutions in the air. He didn't do the quad axel, which is sort of his trademark and one that very few skaters can do. Yeah, that's 4.5 revolutions in the air. We'll see if he pulls that out in the gold medal contention.
Hence the nickname, the quad god.
Quads.
Yeah. Did you see the story where he's doing the flip on the ice, and while it's very fancy and fun to watch, it is 0 points when it comes to the judges?
No.
Yeah. There is no credit for doing a flip on the ice.
Backwards, right? Yeah. Which is shocking. Why wouldn't they count points for that? It's amazing, that Ilya Malinin can do that, and yet it's no way. It adds to the showmanship, I suppose, and the fans love it. But the judges say, big deal.
Yeah, big deal. Yeah, the guy's doing a backflip on ice, landing on 2 blades, and but he's doing it because the crowd loves it, and I guess he likes doing it. So
I can't even skate backward. I barely can stand up on skates, and here's this guy doing flips and quads and 4.5s. And
it's crazy. Politics on full display. What's the latest off the field?
Well, yeah, and that I think happens at a lot of Olympics, and it's certainly happening here in sort of a sad case involving a helmet. The Ukrainian skeleton athlete intended to wear a helmet that he had designed. It features images of fellow Ukrainian athletes, but the International Olympic Committee went to Vladislav Hraskovich and told him he couldn't wear that because it makes a political statement. He was able to wear it in the qualifying, but he won't be able to wear it in the medal round. And so instead, he's being allowed to wear a black armband. And so that's what he'll do. But then we've heard other politics coming from the news conferences. Some of the American athletes are being asked, how does it feel? I mean, you're wearing the American flag on your uniform. You're proud of that, right? And the athletes all say, yeah, I am. Country's not perfect, and it's making mistakes. President Trump came down hard on one of the athletes, Hess, for comments that Hess made. The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, is there and says he's admonished reporters, quit asking about politics, ask about sports.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's going to happen either. There was something else I wanted to ask you, and that was, yesterday you had a story that the Olympic medals are breaking or falling apart. What's going on there?
Right. Yeah. We Breezy Johnson, when she won her gold medal, she was jumping up and down for glee, right? And as she's doing that, the thing bounces and breaks. So the part that holds the ribbon to the medal broke off, right? A German bronze medal winner said that he had the same problem. He's celebrating with his teammates and dancing and jumping up and down. His broken, and the medal rolled across the room. There have been other athletes talking about this. So it may be a design flaw. It may be athletes who are just getting a little too excited. But the Olympics Committee will make good and make sure their medals are fixed.
All right, good. What's on tap for the next 24 hours?
Well, we've got more skiing. We've got downhill happening right now. Speed skating comes later today. And watch Jordan Stoltz, the American. This could be a real medal contender there. We have luge coming. Then figure skating, the ice dance, free dance. And Americans to watch there, too. Madeline Chalk and Evan Bites trying to overcome their second position against the French team and maybe score a medal there.
Yeah, how about the U.S. Women's hockey team crushing Canada? That was a bit of a shocker, right? That was a bit of a laugher.
Absolutely
Yeah.
shocking. And I mean, they're undefeated now, the women's team, the women's U.S. hockey team. And that matchup yesterday, U.S. versus Canada, is expected to be the matchup for the gold medal round. So we could take home a gold medal again in women's hockey.
Yeah, all right. That is Jim Ryan, ABC News. Aren't you glad I didn't ask about the biathlete who cheated on his girlfriend and on the podium stand, tried to get her back?
Isn't that amazing? Or this, can I tell you a little inside story?
Yeah, sure.
I was on earlier today with another host, and he says, hey, and you get this little rundown every night. You've seen this, McGraw, the rundown of what the reporters are working on.
Right.
He says, hey, we got Jim Ryan here, ABC Jim Ryan. I understand there have been developments in the Nancy Guthrie story in the last 24 hours or so. And I'm sitting here going, there sure have. There's been video now, Ring doorbell video that came out that, so you can either say, I don't know what you're talking about, or you can tell what you know. So I chose the latter.
Yeah, no, good. So the guy was asking you the wrong questions on the wrong story. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll never happen here, Jim Ryan. We are professionals. We never mess up around here.
Absolutely.
All right, Jim. Have yourself a good day. Thanks, as always. All right. Jim Ryan's coming up. We're going to be talking to him about splitting the atom. 6:58 here, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, a crash on 270 North before 64 has been moved to the shoulder, but is still causing a stop and go back up to Doherty Ferry. The estimated clearance time is 7:30. 55 North is stop and go around Bayless. On 370 West at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And 5570 East is reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange in East St. Louis and Illinois 203 for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right. Do you really, really want a window on your soul? Well, you should go to the window store to get it, because it's that. See what I did there? See how I transitioned from the window on your soul into the window store windows. Larry Thornton and Joe Thornton, St. Louisans through and through, grew up in North City, and they'll install windows and doors anywhere, but they started a company 38 years ago called the Window Store. And if you want quality windows from a quality St. Louis family, they'll take care of you. They've got installers that have been with them for 15, 20, 25 years. They have better pricing, great windows, great energy-efficient windows. They don't jack up the price and try and say, oh, we'll give you 10 windows free if you buy 2 of them. No, they don't do that game, and they don't do any hard pressure sales or nothing like that. All they do is give you a price that's better than everybody else in town, shake your hand, and say, we hope to hear from you. The Window Store, 314-739-0002, WSWindow.net.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston.
As a person in Arizona is questioned and then released, police continue searching for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, who has been missing from her Tucson home for a week and a half. Investigators say the mother of Today host Savannah Guthrie was abducted, and now they have released images of a man disabling the video camera on her front porch the night she disappeared. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky in Tucson.
The person can be seen approaching the house. A gloved hand tries to block the camera, appears to struggle with it, and turns his back to grab some brush. He places the branches in front of the lens. Savannah Guthrie quickly sharing the images on Instagram, writing, "Someone out there recognizes this person. We believe she is still out there. Bring her home."
The hope is that someone will recognize the suspect's gait, height, eyes, backpack, or anything. A highly unusual move by the FAA this morning, closing the airspace around El Paso, Texas for at least a week and a half. Here's ABC transportation correspondent Gio Benitez.
The airspace over El Paso, Texas and Santa Teresa, New Mexico there. The FAA prohibiting all flight operations there for the next 10 days, only citing special security reasons. In a statement to ABC News, El Paso Airport authorities said that the FAA on short notice issued a temporary flight restriction halting all flights, and we are pending additional guidance. They urge passengers, of course, to call airlines right away.
A deadly mass shooting in the Canadian Rockies. 9 people killed at a British Columbia school, 2 others at a home, both instances believed related. The suspected shooter dying of a self-inflicted gunshot wound at the school. Public Safety Minister Nina Krieger.
This is a devastating day for a close-knit community, and the loss being felt is profound.
At least 25 people had to be airlifted to hospitals with gunshot wounds. Attorney General Pam Bondi before a congressional committee today answering questions about the DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. You're listening to ABC News.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk.
What number do you want?
The Big 550.
KTRS.
St. Louis.
Whatever we do today, let's keep in mind the men and women of our military. Whether currently serving or a veteran, they risk their lives to help make our freedom possible. We must never forget our military protectors. This salute is courtesy of RHF Truck and Automotive in Medora, with dependability and excellence. Stop by 128 North Main Street in Medora or call 618-818-8773. That's 618-818-8773. That's RHF Truck and Automotive on the air, saluting our troops and veterans.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
Jill Farmer here on a cold day. You know what really hits the spot? Warm, smoky barbecue. And that's why you got to check out 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery, a locally owned gem tucked inside the West County Phillips 66, Clayton Road and 141. Pulled pork, brisket, chicken, saucy rib sandwiches. So good. And don't skip the homemade desserts baked by Carol. Perfect for lunch, dinner, dine-in, carry-out, and even catering. Check out the full menu at 3baybarbecueandbakery.com and sign up for rewards while you're at it. 3 Bay Barbecue. Cold weather comfort done right.
28 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. One person is dead after a fire at an abandoned bus terminal in North St. Louis. Firefighters were called last night to a fire at the terminal that was once operated by Greyhound along the 1400 block of North 13th Street. An individual was found deceased inside of the burning terminal. The victim's name has not been released. The cause of the fire is being investigated. An arrest has been made in connection with a deadly shooting at a Starbucks in South City. Police say a 58-year-old man was taken into custody in yesterday's shooting of a woman at the Starbucks on South Grand. The victim, who has not been identified, was taken to an area hospital where she later died. The suspect's name is being withheld pending charges. A man is facing over 2 decades in prison for a crash that killed 5 members of a family in North St. Louis. 21-year-old Marshawn Stepney was sentenced yesterday to 25 years behind bars after pleading guilty to charges, including second-degree murder for the May 2022 wreck. New legislation in the Missouri House of Representatives is designed to provide a clear framework of visitation and oversight practices of state detention centers. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
State Representative Jeremy Dean's bill is designed to establish more consistent visitation and oversight standards at all detention centers in Missouri, and also addresses a gap in current law by setting visitation provisions for county and municipal jails, which are not presently governed by state statute. Dean says that Missouri law should clearly define how detention centers operate, and that the state has a responsibility to ensure detention centers are subject to oversight and public accountability. House Bill 3270 moves ahead and will now be considered during the current legislative session. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Teen workers in Missouri may soon see lower wages. A state Senate proposal calls for decreasing the minimum wage for Missouri workers under 18 years old from $15 per hour to $12.30 per hour. Republican State Senator Joe Nicola filed the bill after business owners approached him with concerns over the state's rising minimum wage. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. And you can send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. 31 degrees. Time now is 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right. From the Country Club Car Wash text line at 7:05 here on the Big 550 KTRS. Let's see here. The machines in Dunklin County were set up like regular slot machines. The local machines are set up correctly. Strictly a game of chance. That's not true because according to the Attorney General's news release, let me read this for you. They write, the two types of illegal gambling machines being unlawfully housed in these retail shops are video lottery terminals and fishing table games. Users typically insert cash to play, and when the user wants to cash out, they receive a ticket, which is cashed by the retail shops. So, and then you get credit at the store or something. Why don't you just hand me your money and just I'll just go ding, 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 and just hand me your money. You don't have to drive all the way to Dunklin County to play the machine. Just save yourself gas money and just give me your money. Anyway, I love how these people are trying to split hairs. Catherine Hanaway going after these 5 places that have these places were raided months and months and months ago. This is a very different Attorney General's office than the one Andrew Bailey had, right? Andrew Bailey, the lawsuits were piling up, and he took the money from Torch and recused himself, right? And which was odd. And Eric Schmidt apparently gave the money back and continued on with these lawsuits. Catherine Hanaway is the one filing the charges. So good for her. And we'll see how all this turns out. But people are trying to split the baby in half. No, that's not legal. That's not legal gambling because it doesn't tell you you win. Who plays in the machines? Seriously, they tell you this with a straight face. Like, the machine says on the next pull, you're not going to win. So who in their right mind would put money in a machine in which you're guaranteed not to win? Nobody. So you put the quarter in, you pull the lever, you lose because it told you were going to lose. And then it says, okay, on the next spin, you're going to lose again. Okay, so you put the quarter in again, you pull the lever, and you lose again. And then it says, you're going to win the next one. Oh, okay. Well, then now I'll put the quarter in and pull the lever.
Well, now you put 2 quarters in.
Right. It's ridiculous. That's like saying, if you go up to a teller and you say, I'm going to rob the bank tomorrow. And then you rob the bank tomorrow. You're like, well, I told them I was going to rob the bank, so it's really not robbing a bank if I tell them. No, that's a loophole in the law. It's so ridiculous. But they tell you this with a straight face.
And it's not, I had somebody show me one of these at a place, and I'm like, so how do you find out? It's not like there's a button that says you're not going to win. There's a series of buttons you have to press. It's not like the easiest thing. You have to know what you're doing.
It's so foul and so broken. And the fact that this is you're still arguing over whether or not these are legal gambling machines. And a casino down in Jefferson City had to get signatures on a ballot and go to the statewide election and lose. They can't open up a casino, but you can open up one at a daycare? Really? Really? And a 10-year-old can go bring his milk money in and play? And there's no regulation.
That'd be great. You go to a gas station, there's a 10-year-old.
You're going to tell me that's legal. This is legal. But you have to have 17 forms of ID to walk into a casino. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It's laughable. So hey, I'm waving the Catherine Hanaway flag. Keep it going, Catherine Hanaway. Good job. 7:10 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, coming up this hour. So the latest on Savannah Guthrie's mom. You heard Sherry Preston at the top of the hour. I guess they're back to square one now. They released this person of interest. It wasn't the person. As I was going to bed last night, you could see that you're like, this didn't pass the smell test. This doesn't make any sense. And I don't think this guy or this family's the mastermind of some high stakes kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mom. Just didn't make any sense. So we're back to square one. Also, we'll check in with Stephen Portnoy, who is going to be talking about the seizure of those Fulton County machines, and the judge has released the warrant. And so we'll get into all that with Stephen Portnoy. And then Steve Holly's going to be along. Congratulations to Guns N' Hoses and everybody who supports Guns N' Hoses. A $1 million check to Backstoppers. That is a pretty sweet deal. So that's a great little deal. So we'll check in with Steve Holly, who listens all day, every day anyway. So we'll check in with him. Randy will talk a little sports, and then phone calls and text messages in the 9 o'clock hour. Was there something else I wanted to touch on? Oh, yesterday I went by Uncle Bill's. Man, that's not open yet, right?
Not yet.
No,
Soon.
boy,
It looks good, doesn't it?
Just from the outside. Like a fresh coat of paint and cleaning up the parking lot, it looks fantastic. But, I mean, it looks like they did a really, really, really nice job.
Yeah.
I was in the area over there on Kings Highway, and so I was driving by and I checked out Uncle Bill's. But I went and had lunch at Bud's Pizza.
You did go to Bud's? Bud's is so good. I love Bud's.
Bud's Pizza. Can we stop for a moment and give a shout out to Bud's
Carl,
Pizza?
have you been to Bud's yet?
I have not.
I'm always like, have you guys been to Bud's yet?
So it's right there on Grand, right past the.
It's Kings Highway in Chippewa.
Yeah, Kings Highway in Chippewa. Is it right by the Golden Hoosier? Is that
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Also owned by.
Yeah, the Garcias. Yeah, which is I guess they were brothers. They're brothers who just sort of decided that they wanted to invest in South City there, and so they put their money where their mouth is. And over the last 20 years or so, they keep buying properties and fixing them up and renting them or selling them, and now they've taken on Uncle Bill's, and now there's Bud's Pizza. First of all, the decor is fantastic.
Yeah, I love it in there.
It's very, very upscale. It looks sort of like an old train car.
Yeah, it's kind of dark in there. It's
kind of dark. It's kind of
tones.
velvety kind of, but it's very nice.
Inviting, yeah.
Very nice, very inviting, very clean. Service couldn't have been any nicer. Bud's Pizza, you walk in, and I don't know, I was there, 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something, and I skipped lunch, and so I popped in. I was waiting for my next meeting, whatever, and I had a couple, they order by the slice, so I had a couple of pepperoni pieces, and a couple of Diet Cokes, and the people couldn't have been any friendlier, any nicer. It was fantastic.
I know, I love it.
The pizza was great.
It is delicious.
Little spicy.
What'd you get? Just pepperoni?
I got two slices of pepperoni.
Yeah, because I like it that they do by the slice, and they have special slices of the day or like a special of the day or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I was going to order it, but I was just sort of in and out. But what a really nice place, and that's South Grand or South Kings Highway and Chippewa. Then I drove around the neighborhood a little bit. Man, they really. They deserve every ounce of attention they get. They've done a really nice job with that stuff. A lot more to do.
Well, and so have you I don't know if you are that familiar with it, but Carl would know, like right by the Home Depot at Kings Highway, they've completely leveled whatever that dilapidated eyesore. Yeah.
That thing was there forever. It was that white, weird building that was just vacant forever.
Yes. And if you notice, too, like for some reason, South Kings Highway over there was like this car dealership wasteland. There was just all of these, and like there's maybe
abandoned.
Yeah. None of them are even. So it's really exciting to kind of see like just how it's taking shape. And right there, like I said, now that you can finally, they redid Kings Highway, now you can finally make a left onto Kings Highway from Arsenal. I know.
Oh, you couldn't do that before? You couldn't do that before?
No.
Oh, you had to go straight and what,
Yeah,
make a
go
left
through the
on
park.
Morgan Ford or something?
Go through the park or
there in
something, or
traffic.
just go the other, just go and go roundabout. I mean, it's a small stuff, but it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I was thoroughly impressed. Now, they've that building in front of Home Depot. What an eyesore that thing was.
Right.
What's going there? We have no idea.
We don't know.
But they finally tore it down.
Gone. Yeah. So they were slowly kind of, demolishing it, but now I think it's
and
just dust.
on Kings Highway and I guess Arsenal, right there on the corner of Tower Grove Park.
Yep.
There was that used car place.
Now it's a Domino's. Yep. I know. It's like, and that thing's been there for forever, that little building. And now
it was a weird used car lot that would be empty for months, and then it'd have like 14 cars on it, and then they would be empty for months again. So it was a weird sort of whatever. But that building right in front of Home Depot being torn down, that's worth its weight in gold just to be torn down.
I know. It's like I said, it's exciting. It's like stay tuned.
It was such a dilapidated eyesore. And it just became part of the backdrop. You're like, what is this building? Tear it down.
Well, and then all the grass around it just was high as
it was terrible.
Yeah.
It would tear it down.
But there's another one of those car dealers. There's a couple buildings that are just vacant and are terrible. So it's
a little bit further down.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a Lee's Chicken over there that's now something else.
Wait, that's still
at Kings Highway in Chippewa. That used to be the Southtown Famous and Bar. It was a great place.
Yeah. No, that Lee's Chicken is now something else.
I think it's still there. Lee's? Are you talking about like the old Courtesy Diner, which is now
No. Further down by Uncle Bill's, that Lee's.
Yeah. It's not Lee's anymore?
No. I drove by it yesterday, and it wasn't Lee's. Because I used to go there and get Lee's Chicken every once in a while when I lived in the hood. Yeah. But no, hats off to the Garcia brothers. They, in terms of full disclosure, I recently bought maybe about a year ago, I bought a rental property from the Garcias. So
yeah, I was going to say, I almost rented something from them like a couple years ago.
Yeah. 717 here, Big 550 KTRS, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, we are accident-free, but 270 north is heavy from Doherty Ferry to near 64. 55 north is running slow around Bayless. On 370 west at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work, and 5570 east is reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange in East St. Louis and Illinois 203 for road work. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. What a nice taste of spring, but we have colder weather on the way. It's not bad at all, but I think you'll want the jacket again. Low 30 degrees in the morning and a high of 50 with mostly sunny skies. That's a nice day and above normal, but again, not quite as mild as our Tuesday. Thursday's a little cooler, 31 for the low, 47 for the high under mostly cloudy to overcast skies. There's about a 30% chance to catch a shower in the afternoon to early evening. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, let's go to a former special agent in charge of the FBI, Rich Frankel, courtesy of ABC News. Rich Frankel, we went to bed last night with a person of interest. We woke up with that person of interest being released. The officials saying that's not the person. Are we back now to square one? What happens now?
Yeah, I don't know if we're back to square one, but we're definitely back to going out on every lead. And just so you know, even when this was happening, I'm pretty sure that the task force, FBI, Pima County Sheriff, they were still going out on other leads while they were focused on this big one. But, you never stop. You never, put all your eggs in one basket. So while there were investigators and a SWAT team doing, the case that we saw on TV, I'm sure that you had the other ones, other investigators out there covering other leads that came in because of the video and because of just everything going on around the Nancy Guthrie case.
Yeah, Rich, talk about the idea that there was activity on the Bitcoin account from one of the ransom notes. What does that mean? What does that tell you? And is that a lead that sounds positive?
Well, it's hard to tell because there was action around it, but it could have been just somebody doing a test of that account. Those accounts were made public, through the ransom note getting out to the public, and so anyone could actually put something into that account. And from my understanding, it was not a large amount. So what law enforcement would do, or other investigators might do, is put in an amount just to see if it's a valid account. In other words, would it actually accept Bitcoin? And so that could have been going on. It wasn't enough to make me think that it was anything to do with the actual hostage takers. And from what I understand, it wasn't the Guthrie family. So I think it was just people, testing.
Yeah. Back to the video. You don't see a car in the video. Do you think they held back some other pieces of the video that they didn't release to the public that maybe show? Because it's hard to imagine one person was able to take a 85-year-old woman who's can't walk very well through the desert. There had to have been somebody else and or some other vehicle, right?
That's my belief too. And whether they held back on that video, I don't know, because it's hard to tell from, it's a very focused video within that courtyardish area. However, we did see 2 days before FBI agents on a roof taking a camera off the roof, and we have not heard about that camera yet. So whether there's anything on the camera, or they're having the same issue of having to go and have the manufacturer pull stuff off of the camera, or they're holding back because there is some intel on there. We're not sure, but I'm very hopeful, just like you are, that you can either see a car being, just waiting, maybe somebody in the car, like another driver, another person who is driving it, or maybe you do see this individual, the abductor, taking Nancy out and walking her to in some direction. But hopefully there is that video from that camera.
Rich, talk about the technology and facial recognition. Even though the guy's face is obscured with the mask, does the FBI have technology that can sort of help identify who that is, or what do they have?
So the FBI has some technology, but they also use third-party, tech companies that assist them in this. Some, experts in the field. And while it may not be exact because you only are able to see the eyes and the mouth, that information definitely will go into the facial recognition databases, and they will be scanning for that across many different databases. And also what it can be used for is down the line, if they do identify somebody who is a person of interest or subject, they then can take pictures of that person and compare it through facial recognition to the person who is in that video, and use that almost like you would do with fingerprints.
Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge, FBI in New York. What's your best guess? What does your gut tell you about this case?
So, it's hard to tell. From the video, you have a person who has actually, been able to stay away from law enforcement for the last 9-10 days, but it appeared to be not very adept at how to do the actual entry into the house, dealing with the camera. So that was a little odd that, that person may be a quote unquote novice in either breaking and entering or in the abduction. As far as Nancy, as far as I'm concerned, she's alive until she's not. And I believe that's where law enforcement is going to be focused on this. This is a rescue operation. They are trying to find Nancy and bring her back safe and sound to her family, and that is the focus of the investigation. And until they know different, that will remain the focus.
It's such a great point, right? Somebody clearly who is an expert in this is able to avoid the police and detection for the last 9 days. But somebody was inept and had to use flowers from the garden to try and obscure their face from the camera. Those two things just don't square up. We will leave it there. Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge of the FBI. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
You got it. Right? I mean, how does that make any sense? The guy's smart enough and savvy enough and diabolical enough to avoid detection for 9 days. But yet, such a buffoon that he goes into the yard and takes wild flowers or brush and tries to hide the camera after looking at the camera. I mean, it's and what is he? Some kind of, Leonardo DiCaprio safecracker in a movie where he puts the flashlight in his mouth while he's trying to use his hands to cover up the camera? What a buffoon. But at the same time, smart enough and savvy enough to sort of avoid detection. It's the two things just don't add up. Again, it's heartbreaking to watch this story. And how about the poor family? Oh my goodness! They were last night, right? Person of interest. Oh my goodness, could it be? They're going to the house. Oh my goodness! And then when you get there, you're like, I was watching it live because I was on the air last night. So I was sort of watching it live, and at one point I was watching one of the feeds, and they were interviewing the mother-in-law of the guy, and I thought to myself, this is not the person who's it just didn't pass the smell test. And to their credit, I think I was watching News Nation, and one of their FBI guys was at the table and said that this doesn't pass the smell test. He's like, I hope, but he's like, I don't think this family was the mastermind behind the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. So, and then we wake up this morning to find out that the person of interest was not who they were looking for. So, 726 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing, embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the Control Option Mindset featuring the Lifetime and Generational Income Maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw 270 north is heavy from Big Bend to near 64. 55 north is running slow from Union to Bayless, where it's stop and go at times. On 370 west at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. In Illinois, there's a slowdown on 64 west from US 50 in O'Fallon to near 159. And 5570 east is reduced to 2 lanes between Exchange in East St. Louis and Illinois 203 for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Weather today is going to be in the 50s today. Plenty of sunshine, 50s today. Matter of fact, I was out yesterday and I saw a weed in one of my garden beds. Really? Weeds already? It's only February 11th, so we got a temperature of 50 degrees with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow, 53. Friday, 50s. Saturday, 50s. Maybe Sunday will touch 60. Rain comes Saturday and Sunday. Right now, it is 31 degrees at 7:32. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are expected to discuss new nuclear talks with Iran. The longtime Israeli leader is visiting the White House today. It comes as both Tehran and Washington are projecting cautious optimism after holding indirect talks in Oman on Friday about how once again to approach negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. Attorney General Pam Bondi is set to face questions from lawmakers over the Justice Department's handling of files related to Jeffrey Epstein that have exposed sensitive private information about victims despite redaction efforts. Bondi is confronting a new wave of criticism stemming from the political saga that has dogged her team after the release of millions of additional Epstein disclosures that victims have slammed as sloppy and incomplete. In local headlines, a trial over Missouri's new congressional district is underway. A Cole County judge will determine if the new congressional map can be legally enacted before the 2026 midterm elections. And dozens of parents, students, and teachers held a rally at the Missouri Capitol yesterday to rally in support of education funding. The rally focused on the concern that proposed tax changes could divert public funds away from the state school system. 28 degrees. Time now is 7:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, let me tell you about Gelmish & Sons Heating and Cooling, because if you need some air conditioning help, since it's going to be 60s at some point, maybe some HVAC help, let's just say heating or cooling, because things change pretty quickly around here. The family Gelmish & Sons is who you want to call, 314-993-1110, 314-993-1110, or gelmishandsons.com. What's great about Gelmish & Sons is that they are a family business, been in business for now 76 years. People have worked there 25, 30, 35 years. They made a career at Gelmish & Sons. When the hedge funds come in, they're like locusts. They buy up these family names, they fire everybody, jack up the prices, and then they give you a take it or leave it offer when they go to your house. At Gelmish & Sons, they just are amazed at the fact that people will pay these exorbitant prices. They don't get it. Why wouldn't you just call Gelmish & Sons? You get better customer service. You get a family-run business here in St. Louis, and when it's all said and done, the price is going to be less expensive, significantly less expensive. So don't get caught calling a hedge fund that is pretending to be a St. Louis business. Call Gelmish & Sons. That is a St. Louis business. 314-993-1110, 314-993-1110, or gelmishandsons.com.
It's the half-price sale at Miller Furniture and Mattress, going on now through February 18th.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. Right now, save half off our list price on all in-stock items. Plus, half off custom orders on Flex Steel, Smith Brothers, Amish-made furniture, and more. Plus, get 60 months special financing.
Right now, take half off any Chatham & Wells mattress when you purchase an adjustable base. Plus, up to $800 off select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns & Foster and Tempur-Pedic.
For every mattress sold, Miller will donate a bike helmet to Helmets First to keep St. Louis kids safe. Hurry in and try out Flex Steel's newest custom comfort sofas and lift chairs and the largest selection of Amish-made furniture. Visit any of our 4 locations in Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville. Don't miss the half-price sale at Miller Furniture now through February 18th. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack. Solid as rock.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watched Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top notch. She doesn't just know the market, she knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to laurenrisleyrealty.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all, because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep, now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
All right, 7:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. McGraw, you're such a hypocrite. Just a week ago, you were saying that although all Americans are important, no one should get extra attention because they are famous. You just did an entire segment dedicated to this abduction. I might be a hypocrite, but I don't know if that's the reason why I'm a hypocrite. Let's see here. Trump's FBI wanted it to be Latino. All people who commit crimes are stupid and lazy. Here's another one. Has anybody come up with a conspiracy theory that the kidnapping was staged to increase ratings of the Today Show? No normal thinking person would think that. 636, the Garcia brothers are giving the Bricka brothers a run for their money. There you go. 3 and 4, I bought a car from that little used car shop at Kings Highway in Arsenal in 1978, and that place was old then. Yeah, now it's a Domino's Pizza. Aww. You know, the other one is and he was on the show with Frank and Jill the other day. The Royale.
Steve
has been there. That's got to be there 20 years, man. Mm-hmm. That thing's got to have been there 20 years.
Steve Smith.
Yeah, I was going to stop in yesterday, but it's closed on Tuesdays.
A lot of places are closed on Tuesdays now.
Well, it makes sense. If every place was closed on Monday, why don't you open up on Monday and get some of the business that's from...
Exactly. But why do I always crave these restaurants on Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You know.
It does. Like Southwest Diner. Always. I want it on a Tuesday. I've been rebuffed many a time.
When I was a kid, Emo's was closed on Mondays. And
really?
And we always wanted, we can't get pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I enjoy all forms of legal gambling. These machines are illegal. I've tried to call my state senator, Dave Gregory, but can never get a clear answer from his office on his stance. Thanks a lot, Senator. Let's see. I'm curious your opinion on the quarter push machines where they push the quarters off the edge. That's gambling, too.
Oh,
at Chuck E. Cheese.
Every time I think, look, it's right there. It's dangling. It just needs one quarter. Oh, man. Give me another one. Okay, I swear this one's going to do it.
I guess it's gambling, right? I guess it's a form of gambling. I don't know. I've never understood those games because you put in 6 quarters and you're hoping 1 or 2 quarters drops off the ledge.
Well, see, you get to guide it, right? So
Right.
you got 1 quarter and you got this thing going, and there's already strategically placed
Hundreds of
quarters and like a random $5 bill, right? That's the best. Like, get over there. Right, but they're all like layered up over here, and there's a bunch dangling, and you're just waiting. So you put your quarter in, you guide it correctly, you let it go. All right.
Yeah.
All right, give me another one, right? And then you just keep aiming to that same.
People are somehow trying to, get me. Oh, is pinball gambling? I don't know. I can't. I'm Oliver Wendell Holmes. I can't define gambling, but I know it when I see it. And a slot machine at a gas station or a slot machine at a bar where you put money in and it gives you money back, that's gambling.
It's got to be anything that gives you money back, right?
That's gambling.
Well, the hope of getting money back.
Yeah.
True, right? But
Yeah.
So the quarter machine probably is.
And I'm not against people are also confused. I'm not against gambling. If you want to gamble your money away and gamble your mortgage away, I would recommend you not doing it for all sorts of reasons. Gamblers aren't there to give you money. Vegas wasn't built on the winners, okay? So let's somehow you're trying to justify like I'm telling you not to go to church because church is bad, right? Gambling's not good. I have gambled in the past, and I'm sure I'll gamble in the future. I'll bet you I gamble in the other future. The point I'm making is that it's not legal. It's not legal. And that's the issue I have with it, is that it's not legal. In Illinois, whether you like it or not, it's legal, right? They've passed the law. It's been signed into law. It's been passed into law. It's legal. Here, one guy's running around, making it rain to politicians with PAC money, and all of a sudden they're looking the other way, and this guy's cleaning up on illegal gambling machines. That's the problem I've got with it.
You used to have to go to Route 3 Liquor and Lotto. That's where used to have to go, because you'd cross the bridge and then you go to Route 3 Liquor and Lotto, and you could buy lottery tickets because Missouri didn't have them.
Yeah.
You could bet the ponies because you couldn't do it over here, and you could gamble.
I do remember
It should be called vices.
I do remember, for some reason, going over to Sauget right in front of, what's the place that opens up at 4 in the morning?
Pops.
Diamonds.
Pops. Yeah, no, Diamonds
Pops.
closes at 4. Pops opens at 4.
But their food's good.
Oh,
But-
it's amazing. The barbecue.
But there's a gas station there right in front of Pops, and I remember going over there and buying lottery tickets.
That's Route 3 Liquor and Lotto.
Yeah, okay. So it was lottery. There's some reason Missouri at that point wasn't selling. I don't know if it was Mega Millions or or
big game,
whatever. Somebody sent me over there and we all got lottery tickets and ended up not winning. Shocking.
What?
Was her name Cinnamon?
No. No.
She was serving the barbecue.
No. That was Cheyenne. What are you talking about? No, but I've been to. Now they sell all those things on the Missouri side too.
Yes.
Yeah. 7:45 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company traffic.
McGraw crash on 270 north past 55 is blocking the 4 right lanes, and the estimated clearance time there is 8:20. We have a stalled vehicle on 64 east at 170 blocking the right lane and causing a stop and go back up to Clayton Road. 64 east is busy around Clarkson. 270 north heavy from Big Bend to near 64. 55 north is running slow from Union to Bayless, where it's stop and go at times. 64 west is crowded from Hampton past Clayton Skinker. On 370 west at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And in Illinois, there's a slowdown on 64 west from US 50 in O'Fallon to near 159. This traffic report is brought to you by the Opera Theater of St. Louis. Get your season tickets now to the Opera Theater of St. Louis. Enjoy the productions of Romeo and Juliet, A Streetcar Named Desire, and others. Visit them online at opera-stl.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
Meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs into the lower 50s, mostly sunny skies into Thursday, mostly cloudy. Could see an isolated shower or 2. Highs into the upper 40s. Most of the region remaining dry. Friday, partly sunny, highs into the mid-50s. By Saturday, still looking at some scattered chances of showers up to 40%. 52 degrees by the afternoon hours will warm into Sunday afternoon, 57 degrees with clouds continuing to clear. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Neighbors Credit Union that is coming up on 100 years. Neighbors Credit Union, back in the 20s, the 1920s, started a credit union, and it was for letter carriers. Well, they have since opened it up for everybody, and they have become a great St. Louis partner for families. Among the many things they do, one of them they are very proud of is that they have come up with this idea for a smart account. Anyone under the age of 22, you can open up an account and fund it with $5 or $10 or however much you want to start it with. $100 is good, $1,000. But the first $1,000 is subject to 10% of interest, right? APY, annual percentage yield, which means that the money grows faster, right? That's an elevated interest rate. And then the money grows faster, and then it grows faster, and then it compounds, and you sort of go from there. And the young lad who is whose account this is all of a sudden wakes up one day and they had $100 in there. Now they've got $105 in there. Wait a minute, how did I get an extra $5? Wait a minute, if I save it, then I get more money? That's teaching the value of a dollar, and that's teaching the next generation. And that's why Neighbors Credit Union is great, because they'll help you teach that next generation about financial literacy. They're coming up on 100 years. To open up an account, go to any one of the 8 area locations, or you can certainly do it online as well, right from the comfort of your couch. NeighborsCU.org. NeighborsCU.org.
Hey, it's Heidi, and if the new year means a new look for your home, look no further than Dalco Home Remodeling. Let me just tell you, customers could not be happier. If you're looking for new windows, Dalco Home Remodeling has you covered. If you're looking for a new door, they can custom make you a front door. They can do French doors, they can do sliding doors, and they can stain it or paint it to whatever you have going on or whatever new color you want to add. Let me just tell you about some of the happy clients. You've got Alex, who said, I had Dalco replace several windows and doors on one of my properties, did a top quality job for me, would definitely recommend. And he's just one of many. You know, Dalco Home Remodeling has been around for more than 50 years. They are family owned and family operated. So if you're ready to get your dream project underway, go to DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. You can also give them a call at 314-298-7300.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Story Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Story Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Story in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and good lighting in your home is essential. It's essential for safety, function, mood, and aesthetics. And when it comes to local lighting experts, look no further than Metro Lighting. Right now at Metro Lighting, you can enjoy an additional 20% off already reduced furniture, lamps, artwork, mirrors, and home decor through March 8th. Metro Lighting has 6 convenient locations and online at metrolightingcenters.com.
While supplies last, in-store floor models only. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details.
Armstrong Teasdale is proud to celebrate Black History Month with KTRS during our 125th anniversary. Founded right here in St. Louis, Armstrong Teasdale is now one of the 200 largest law firms in the nation. For more than a century, our strength has come from our people and a workplace dedicated to diverse perspectives where everyone has the opportunity to grow, succeed, and lead. We've earned national recognition for advancing workplace equality and fostering a culture of inclusion and belonging. Guided by our mission to always exceed expectations through teamwork and excellent client service, Armstrong Teasdale is proud to support meaningful moments like Black History Month on KTRS.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
$7:52 here, Big 550 KTRS. KTRS just got finished with a Backstoppers radioathon here, and of course we're big supporters of Backstoppers. So when we got word yesterday that Guns N' Hoses was getting ready to make a big donation to Backstoppers, we invited Steve Holly to join us, one of the biggest fans of the Big 550 KTRS. Steve Holly, welcome back, my friend.
Hey, thanks, McGraw. I appreciate you having me on.
So give us a sense of how it felt yesterday to give that big of a check to Backstoppers.
You can't match the feelings when you know that you're helping first responder families that have made the ultimate sacrifice. I've got 300 volunteers, and they've got 300 different reasons why they are on the team. And it's just an incredible feeling between our sponsors, our volunteers, our coaches, our boxers, our board of directors, all of our community partners. Everybody comes together, and hopefully we keep giving the big check.
So yesterday you guys gave Guns N' Hoses a check for $1 million to Backstoppers from Guns N' Hoses, and that was all in conjunction with that night before Thanksgiving, right? That's all that wrapped up into one?
Yep. We start planning. I give myself a week off, and then we start planning for the next year. And it's a labor of love amongst all the team members, and we just get after it. And, we don't have a goal. We start from square zero.
Yeah.
We turn all our money over, so we have no idea what we're going to end up with, but the team just keeps making it happen.
I love Guns N' Hoses for lots of reasons, but the fact that the police officers and the firefighters take the fighting, right? They train for months and months and months, and they're serious. And I know there's a lot of ribbon on the side with the guys and the gals, but it's a serious competition for those guys, and they know it's a good cause. They know it's for themselves. The whole community comes out to support them. It's just a great night overall and a great way to sort of give back to a wonderful cause.
Well, we make the guys and gals train. We monitor their training. Safety is our number one goal. But we've also tried to create, for the past, 5 or 6 years, an entertainment aspect to the show because we are family friendly. We want that next generation of young folks to come and learn about the Backstoppers and learn about Guns N' Hoses and learn about what it means to give back to the community. So we're constantly striving to raise the bar.
Yeah. All right. How many years has Guns and Hoses been going?
This will be year 39.
And have you tallied up how much money you've given to Backstoppers over those 39 years?
Well, we're getting close to your salary level. We're at $14 million right now. We're getting close to McGraw money.
Well, keep working at it. Someday you'll get there. Steve Holly, is there any other community, town, metropolitan area that has a Guns N' Hoses like ours?
There are a bunch of them across the country. The difference is they don't have the infrastructure that we have, and they just don't have the give. You know, Jerry Clinton said it at our very first meeting back in 1987. He goes, when you guys come through the door, you leave your title at the door. This is the one group working for one cause. And we've promoted that through the years. Other cities just can't seem to get it. Everybody wants to be the boss, and nobody wants to do the work. But there are some Guns N' Hoses out there. Two notable ones of success are Dallas and Kansas City. They do a fantastic job.
Well, a lot of that success is based on you, Steve Holly. You've been doing this a long time, and to hand over a check to Backstoppers for $1 million, man, you should be busting a couple of buttons. Congratulations. You and your team should be very proud. Congratulations. Thanks for checking in. Thank you for your friendship, and we'll talk to you down the road. Good stuff.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You got
Bye.
it. Steve Holly from Guns N' Hoses donated $1 million to Backstoppers. I mean, you got to stop. With all the cynicism going on in the world, you got to stop and say, hold on a second. $1 million the community raised together in a time where we're at each other's throats. We put all that down, at least for a night, and raised $1 million for the police and the firefighters and the first responders. That's pretty special, and we all should be proud that we live in a place where we are as unselfish as that to raise $1 million for the first responders. So, as Jack Buck always said, we hope we raise all the money in the world, and we hope we never use it. So, that was a nice little story. Steve Holly and his guys and gals doing a lot of good work over there. All right, 7:58 here, Big 550 KTRS, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw crash on 270 north past 55 is now blocking the right lane only with multiple emergency vehicles on the scene. It's causing a slight slowdown near the crash site, and the estimated clearance time is 8:20. 64 East is busy from Chesterfield Airport Road to Clarkson. 270 north is heavy from north of 44 past Manchester. 55 north running slow from Union past Bayless, but it opens up at Carondelet. 64 west is crowded from Hampton past Clayton Skinker. On 370 west at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And in Illinois, there's a slowdown on 64 west from US 50 in O'Fallon to near 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
30 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. It's going to go all the way up to 50 today. What a great day to go swing by Piccadilly at Manhattan. Now, the back patio probably still have the space heaters on. 50 is just warm enough to keep them on. But Piccadilly is, it's a Wednesday. And we're also getting ready for Ash Wednesday. And when is Ash Wednesday? Is that next week? Yeah. Which means fish, which means Piccadilly's, they do a lot of good fish on those Fridays, getting into fish fry territory, too. We love that. Piccadilly is a great place to go really any time of year. It just so happens we're getting ready for a little Lenten springtime action. Piccadilly at Manhattan, the oldest restaurant in the St. Louis metropolitan area. They say over 100 years old. But mouth-watering, delicious variety, great atmosphere. Piccadilly at Manhattan on the corner of Piccadilly and Manhattan in the Ellendale neighborhood. You'll never accidentally run across it. Grab a friend and make a point. Make a reservation. Piccadilly, thepiccadilly.com. Piccadilly.com. We'll see you there. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The family of Nancy Guthrie still waiting for any information at all on the whereabouts of the 84-year-old. The FBI releasing images of a masked man at her front door the night she was abducted. ABC's Aaron Katersky is there.
The images show a masked individual with gloves on, wearing a backpack, approaching Nancy Guthrie's home. It is not time-stamped, but the video is certainly chilling. The images include the individual's eyes. You can see what might be some facial hair. You can see his height, weight, gait, stoop, and the authorities are hoping that someone might recognize something.
A deadly mass shooting in the Canadian Rockies. 9 people killed, most of them at a school. The shooter is believed to have died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound there as well. The FAA halting flights over El Paso, Texas, and Santa Teresa, New Mexico, citing security reasons. ABC transportation correspondent Gio Benitez.
The FAA notice is calling this airspace national defense airspace, so it's being taken very seriously. It's also important to note that the FAA is not even allowing medical helicopters into the area, so it's potentially very serious for people who need that medical help.
Sources tell ABC News the restrictions apparently taken as a precaution by the FAA because of drone operations being run by the Pentagon in the area. New numbers on the jobs picture across the country. ABC's Jim Ryan.
The Dow Jones consensus forecast called for payroll gains of 55,000 after a December increase of 50,000. The actual figure has come in at nearly triple that, with 130,000 jobs created in January, with gains in healthcare and construction. But the unemployment rate and the number of people without jobs, nearly 7.5 million, were virtually the same as December.
Dow futures are up 256 points this hour. You're listening to ABC News.
The home of ABC News. KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Are you a business leader searching for ways to streamline your daily operations? Royal Banks of Missouri's Treasury Management Specialist will meet you where you are and offer a suite of customized, efficient banking solutions designed to propel your business to new heights in 2026. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com to discover how their local team can partner with you to fuel the growth of your business. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
32 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. A suspect is in custody in connection with a deadly shooting at a South St. Louis Starbucks. Police say a 58-year-old man has been arrested in yesterday's fatal shooting of a woman at the Starbucks along the 2300 block of South Grand. The suspect's name is being withheld pending charges. The name of the victim still has not been released. A bond hearing is scheduled this morning for a former substitute teacher in the Fort Zumwalt School District accused of having a sexual relationship with a teenager. Ryan Zoll is charged with endangering the welfare of a child, engaging in sexual conduct. According to the investigation, the 17-year-old victim and his mother moved in with Zoll and his wife after they were evicted from their home. Investigators say Zoll allegedly began a sexual relationship with the teen. Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is cracking down on a St. Louis business allegedly selling illegal THC products marketed towards minors. Hanaway filed suit against Pressure STL, alleging the business is selling unregulated THC products without a license, including items deceptively marketed as non-intoxicating, well-known candy and snack brands enjoyed by children. Hanaway released a statement which reads in part, quote, "We will not stand idly by as adolescents are indoctrinated into addiction by unlicensed businesses prioritizing profit over consumers. My office will not tolerate drug dealers hiding behind candy wrappers," end quote. The Budweiser Guns N' Hoses Boxing Association presented a $1 million gift to Backstoppers yesterday. This marks the 5th consecutive year the donation has been at least 7 figures. And Governor J.B. Pritzker is joining a group of fellow Democratic governors who are boycotting a White House meeting with President Trump. Pritzker announced on social media that he will not be attending the dinner hosted by the National Governors Association next week in support of Colorado Governor Jared Polis and Maryland Governor Wes Moore. His decision comes after Trump withdrew his invitation to Polis and Moore from the event. Pritzker is calling on his Republican colleagues to join the boycott. Work continues on a feasibility study to transform South County Center Mall into a youth sports complex with 2 ice rinks, a hotel, and an event center. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The South County Center has been around since the early 1960s, but many stores have closed and business is slow. St. Louis County Councilman Mike Archer is pushing for the change, and on the Heidi Glaus Show, he said that Explore St. Louis is currently conducting a feasibility study and that the mall's owner also supports the concept.
We are starting to get institutional investors involved. And once we get the institutional investors involved, basically they said, we're not going to make any commitments. We're not going to actually talk to you until we see this feasibility study. So that's where we are.
Archer says the main goal of the project is to bring new life to the area, and that they'll also look at how much of the existing retail space can also remain occupied. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Retailer Eddie Bauer will close its St. Louis area stores as the company's operator navigates bankruptcy. Eddie Bauer's parent company, Catalyst Brands, filed for bankruptcy, citing rising inflation, declining sales, tariffs, and supply chain issues. The brand will attempt to restructure, but if a buyer does not materialize, its brick-and-mortar stores in the United States and Canada will likely permanently shutter. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. You can send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. 32 degrees. Time now is 8:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, it's 8:07 here, Big 550 KTRS. Tony Messenger has a really interesting story in today's hometown newspaper, stltoday.com. Here are the broad strokes, but I would recommend going to read this story. So the story starts 10 years ago when this man named Michael Holmes was convicted in 2003. He was falsely accused of being a drug dealer. He was convicted and sentenced to 21 years in prison. After 5 years behind bars, it was determined, for all sorts of reasons, that the officers involved had falsified their charges, and this Michael Holmes was freed after 5 years behind bars. Now, if you spent 5 years behind bars for a crime you didn't commit, what would you do? You would sue. And so Michael Holmes sued and won, and a jury awarded him $2.5 million. Okay? In 2016. So he was originally He was originally convicted and arrested in 2003. He spent 5 years in jail, then sued, and in 2016, the jury awarded him $2.5 million. And he is still waiting for his money.
And so
now, let me tell you why he's waiting for his money. According to Tony Messenger in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch this morning, the attempt to collect the payment is somewhat convoluted because when he was convicted and then sentenced and then freed, sued, and won, the St. Louis Police Department was under the control of the state. And in the time, then it was switched to the city. And when he tried to collect from the state said, sorry, get your money from the city. The city, when he went to say, hey, where's my money from the city said, hey, get it from the state. That's who locked you up wrongly. So since 2016, this poor guy is now still waiting for the money. Now what happens? Now the state took over control of the police from the city. Now he goes to the city and says, all right, well, you told me to get it from the state. Now the state's got it back. Let me get my money. No. You should have got it from the city. You go to the city and say you should get it from the state. So they're passing the buck all over the place. And this poor guy is waiting for his $2.5 million for being locked up unfairly.
Could that be like another lawsuit? I mean, and here's the other thing. Might I just say, so what was the story we talked about the other day about the Uber, the gal who sued the Uber driver?
Yeah.
What was she won what, like 7-point-something million?
Something, yeah.
I'm just curious as to, like, this man spends 5 years behind bars.
For a crime he didn't commit.
For 2.5, that's all they awarded him?
Well,
like,
that's a whole other issue.
Well, but I mean, like, and I'm sorry, he still clearly can't even get the $2.5 million.
Well, $2.5 million in 2016 is a lot more than $2.5 million today.
I know, but it's so weird to think, like, how much is 5 years of your life worth that you'll never get back?
$500,000.
I mean,
$500,000 a year. I get it, but that's the argument is whatever they gave him, $2.5 million.
He doesn't have it.
Well,
he doesn't have it. It doesn't matter if you gave him $10 billion. Shame on the city and the state. You know what I mean? That to me, I would be like, even if I inherited that mess, it would be like, let's clean this up right quick because that's not a good look.
That's why there's a story in the newspaper.
That's why I read this story with quite a bit of interest.
I love that.
It's heartbreaking. This poor guy. It's unbelievable.
God, how about a GoFundMe for this guy?
How about you just pay up and pay the guy?
Well, like I said, where are his lawyers? Isn't this like a big, like, you guys need to figure it out?
The lawyers are the ones running around trying to say, hey, you owe me. No, and they're saying, no, the other guy owns you.
And does the judge, like...
The judges have said...
The judge would be like,
The judges have been... Read the story. It's a really interesting story. The judges have said, well, look, the judges have said someone's got to pay this guy, and, they keep making these rulings, and it's, no, you pay, no, he pays, no, you pay, no, come back, and, they went both ways, right? He's playing the Scarecrow on the hook in The Wizard of Oz. I believe they went both ways. Right? I mean... it's a heartbreaking story, but one that's riveting, but heartbreaking for this poor guy. So, all right, stay right there. Randy Carricker is going to check in. Lots to get to when it comes to the world of sports, including Missouri getting ready to sell the naming rights for their stadium. The name of the stadium currently is Memorial Stadium, in honor of all of the veterans who have died. Memorial Stadium, right? It's memorialized. And so they think that the name Memorial Stadium is going to go away for the naming rights for a company.
McGraw Stadium?
Yeah, well, that's something. So we'll check in with Randy about that in about 10 minutes or so. Stay right there. Let's go 8:13, make it 8:14 here. Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky. In the St. Louis Closet Company Shopping Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. The latest is a crash on 364 East at Route K. A crash on 270 North past 55 is blocking the right lane with multiple emergency vehicles on the scene. It's just causing a slight slowdown near the crash site. 270 North is heavy from Big Bend past Manchester. 55 North running slow from Union past Bayless, but it thins out at Carondelet. 64 West is crowded from Hampton past Clayton Skinker. 64 East busy around Clarkson and further east at 170. On 370 West at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And in Illinois, there's a slowdown on 64 West from US 50 in O'Fallon to near 159. This traffic report is brought to you by the St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show. It's the premier show for boaters, fishermen, and anybody that loves the outdoors. The St. Louis Boat and Fishing Show at the Americas Center, February 20th through the 22nd. See the boats, pet live stingrays, visit with the Cardinal Cowboy, trophy whitetail deer mounts, and more. Visit stlouisboatshows.com for more info. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. What a nice taste of spring, but we have colder weather on the way. It's not bad at all, but I think you'll want the jacket again. Low 30 degrees in the morning and a high of 50 with mostly sunny skies. That's a nice day and above normal, but again, not quite as mild as our Tuesday. Thursday's a little cooler, 31 for the low, 47 for the high under mostly cloudy to overcast skies. There's about a 30% chance to catch a shower in the afternoon to early evening. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Earlier this
now
morning.
Is the perfect time.
Whoa. Earlier this morning, we were talking about how the FAA had closed El Paso's airspace that for 10 days, and it was closing everything, right? Whether it was drones, whether it was medevacs, it was everything. And El Paso, what would we say, the 6th largest city in Texas. And if you consider the metropolitan area of El Paso, it was up to the 25th largest in the country. It is a huge port of entry, and a lot of goods and services get flown in and out of El Paso every day. And so we were saying that this was going to be a major issue for Texas and for a lot of businesses to have the El Paso airport closed for 10 days for national security reasons. Breaking news, the Federal Aviation Administration has said, never mind, the El Paso airport is now open and will resume normal flights. Never mind. Continue on as if nothing happened. So clearly somebody got to somebody and said, what are you doing? We need this airport open. The goods and services and everything else that flows through one of the biggest airports in the country, we kind of need it open. And so I guess the national security issue has been resolved after they were planning on it taking 10 days and only took 10 minutes. And so now the El Paso airport is open, normal business.
I'd be kind of nervous at this point to be like...
Normal business as usual. So there you go. So head back to the airport. You're going to El Paso. 8:18 here, Big 550 KTRS. Michael Baldy Electric, 314-968-9999. Michael Baldy. Everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. Mine happens to be Michael Baldy. First of all, once you find a good electrician, you want to hold on to that electrician. Never let him go. Never going to give you up. BaldyElectric.com is that electrician. Look, somebody the other day said, I told this story before, the wife is like, we got to get Michael Baldy. No, I can do it. Well, okay, I've been asking you for a month and you haven't done it. So they get Michael Baldy and the gang out there, and the husband's supervising. And he's like, well, while you're here, can you fix this? Or while you're here, can you fix that? So they ended up doing 4 more projects because Baldy was on site. Again, proving my point. Everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. Indoor, outdoor. I had some moisture in my electrical box. No, that's not a euphemism for anything. I really did have some moisture problems in my electrical box, and Michael Baldy came out and fixed that. No problem. So for all of your electrical needs, baldyelectric.com, 314-968-9999 or baldyelectric.com.
Now is the perfect time to fall in love with your next home. First Community has a home loan that is perfect for you. Our Smart Choice Home Loan is a 30-year fixed-rate loan with a great rate. And with a 10% down payment, you won't have to pay for private mortgage insurance. It's home buying made easy at First Community. $1 share deposit required, must qualify for membership. Loan subject to credit approval. Rate, terms, and conditions subject to change without notice. MLS ID number 684198.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deal.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. I'm combating wintertime blues by purchasing cool cars and motorcycles. Do you have a unique, low-mile, or super clean car you'd like to sell? Call me. I'm looking for Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, Harleys, Ducatis, Porsches, or anything super low-mile and super clean. Even everyday cars if they're exceptionally nice and well cared for. I'll come to you if you're in the St. Louis area, especially if you have more than one vehicle to sell. It's okay if you have a loan on it. We'll make the payoff. We make it easy. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. We'll take it from there.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Kirkwood Florist has been a family-owned florist and gift shop since 1951. For over 70 years, Kirkwood Florist has been delivering extraordinary floral experiences every day for every event. Kirkwood Florist has an award-winning design team, friendly customer service and logistics staff, and a great gift shop. They offer same-day, fast delivery to most St. Louis areas if in by noon, with fresh flowers, plants, and unique gift items. Kirkwood Florist, family-owned since 1951. KirkwoodFlorist.com.
Since 1974, Mazza's has been a local, family-owned restaurant known for delicious Italian food the whole family can enjoy. Visit Mazza's St. Charles for daily lunch specials and bottomless mimosas during Sunday brunch, and celebrate Valentine's Day with a $70 dinner for 2. Reservations required. Mazza's is proud to support the Backstoppers on KTRS. Call 636-925-2961 or visit mazzasofcourse.com and click on St. Charles for more information. Serving the St. Louis metro area since 1974 at 5 area locations. Choose Mazza's, of course.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty.
First day on the market, we had multiple offers. They were definitely on top of things, but we loved working with them. They made it so easy for us.
All you need to know about real estate and more.
I am Lauren Risley. I'm here with my right-hand man, Adam Bundren. Every Sunday at 1 o'clock, you'll be hearing from us, a full 1-hour show on all things real estate.
Call the closer with Lauren Risley Realty every Sunday afternoon at 1. Powered by Homestead Financial Mortgage on the Big 550 KTRS.
Sure, AAA are the folks who can get you back on the road when you have a flat tire. They can also provide quality and affordable home and auto insurance. But when you think of AAA, think of this too, AAA Travel. Hi, it's Julie Buck, and AAA Travel is ready to plan your next trip or vacation. And you don't have to be a member to enjoy their services. Of course, membership does have its privileges. To find a AAA advisor near you, just visit AAA.com/travel. Remember, the internet is for looking. AAA.com/travel is for booking.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Boy, that song is so 80s. As Carl's telling us 14 years ago, Whitney Houston.
Today.
Right? Today. 14 years ago today died.
14 years ago?
And kids love this song now.
Really?
Like, of all of the Whitney Houston songs, this is the one that the kids still say slaps.
Wow. You know, funny you mentioned this kids today. I was talking to some youngsters the other day, and they were telling me that they have a hard time grasping the soundtrack on sitcoms.
Oh, the laugh track?
The laugh track, yeah. Yeah.
'Cause they grew up on Disney and Nickelodeon shows, and those are a certain weirdness.
Yeah, or The Office that didn't have that had that was deadpan, and they were like when we watched that show Friends, that's weird to us that like people laugh at their jokes.
Well, remember this is filmed before a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Cheers
yeah,
is filmed before a live studio audience.
But they also have an applause meter, and they sort of
Right.
interject the laughs and the.
Well, it does sound weird. Like when Netflix would come out, they kind of had like a sitcom or something, and it was like I couldn't get through much because it was just insert laugh track. It was just an awkward laugh track.
God, St. Louis Country Club Car Wash text line. Change the name to Greedy Stadium. My sister works at Missouri. They rent her employee parking lot for campus on game days.
Thanks.
Here's another one. Isn't a Mizzou stadium called Faurot Field? It's called Faurot Field. The field is called Faurot.
At Memorial.
The stadium is called Memorial Stadium. They want to sell the naming rights to the stadium. So it would be, Bob's Bar and Grill Stadium at Faurot Field, or Faurot Field at Bob's Bar and Grill. Right, that's what it would be.
If you look at other colleges, they sell the floor of the basketball stadium.
Yeah.
They sell the floor, then the building, and then the whole thing.
They'll sell anything. They'll sell
complex.
anything. They'll sell everything and anything. Yeah, they'll sell you. Look, colleges and professional people have gotten so good. You buy a season ticket, but first you got to buy a license to sit in that seat before you can then purchase the ticket. So you buy a seat license, and then you buy the ticket for that same seat. So they're good. They get you coming and going. How about the city and the state pay half of the settlement to the wrongly convicted person? Yeah, that's an idea. That would require a functioning government, but...
And do either of them have $1.5 million?
I'm sure they do, but, it is what it is.
Rams money.
I've been working all week on Cornhusker Highway. Lincoln's not a bad town. Yeah, they're growing like a weed down there in South Lincoln. Is your internet feed down? Not that I know of. Rose seems to know all the classy places.
Wait, what classy places?
That's when we were
Over in
talking about
Sauget.
Sauget.
Yeah. I love those quarter machines and pretty darn good at them. However, you do have to know when to walk away. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Know when to walk away, know when to run. Let's see here. Don't worry, McGraw. We are all hypocrites if we are honest with ourselves. Keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. Love me some Marty Robbins. The album cover was awesome. I pictured myself as a gunfighter when I was a kid.
Because I played El Paso.
Gotcha. I'm surprised the Missouri Senators haven't called for the stadium to be called Trump Stadium. They could pay him for the naming rights. Don't give anybody any ideas. Now that rich people won't have to pay income tax, they need something to spend their money on. Why not buy the name of the stadium? The Old Man Station runs a laugh track during the not-so-funny afternoon show. Oh, that's harsh. Lee's Chicken on Kings Highway still open.
Yeah, I wonder
Did
if
they
you're...
move?
No, I'm wondering if you're just getting it confused with, because there's a Himalayan delicious lunch place right there.
Yeah, that
real
wasn't
close.
Lee's Chicken?
No, because Lee's, it's still there. I think you just kind of got
I missed it. Okay.
your chickens confused.
I apologize. Lee's Chicken still very much open on Kings Highway.
Yes,
I
know. So I
apologize.
think people were starting to freak out.
All right, yeah. Don't want to. We love Lee's
Send all
Chicken.
the death threats care of.
We love Lee's Chicken. I don't want Lee to get angry with me, or the chickens to get angry with me. Lee's Chicken, still a great local St. Louis fried chicken place. 8:29 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let me tell you about Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stolzer. They, of course, are the well-respected and trusted team of BeckElderLaw.com. You want to protect your assets or your assets in jail. Guess what? That's why Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stolzer are available to help you with your planning, your estate planning. What are you going to do? You're going to make sure your money gets transferred correctly. Your wishes are going to be followed. That's why you need estate planning. God forbid I get hit by a bus. What's going to happen to poor Emerson, right? You're going to have to sort of do what I did, which is sit down and have a conversation with the gang over there. It's easy. Trust me, I'm on the other side of it. It's easy. But it took me a good year for them to get me to go. And Oh, right. Every time I saw Rudy, oh, shoot, I got to do that. I didn't want to do it. I don't know why. I just didn't want to do it, right? It clouds your brain. It weighs you down. You're constantly worried about it. And then I got it done, and now I don't have to worry about it. And it's actually kind of nice just not to worry about it. The hardest part's just making the phone call. Get on the calendar. They'll do all the rest. And then while they're working on it, that's part of your peace of mind. 636-946-7899. 636-946-7899. I know she's taken care of, and everything else will fall into place thanks to what Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stolzer did. So 50-plus years, they're doing it right. Get this off your plate. Get it done. Estate planning with Rudy Beck and the gang over there at Beck Elder Law or BeckElderLaw.com. I think you're thinking of the old Long John Silver's on South Kings Highway. Maybe I'm thinking of Captain D's on Grand and Shoto over there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That thing is still, that thing's going strong, 20
That's like
plus
one of
years.
the only ones, right? Like
That
people
and
come from the ends of the earth to go to that Captain D.
That Captain D is on Shoto and Grand, man. That thing is legendary.
They built a Target around it.
They did.
Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. The latest is a crash on 141 South past Fiedler in the Fenton area. 270 North is heavy from north of 44 past Manchester. 55 North, stop and go at Bayless. 64 West is crowded from Hampton past Clayton Skinker. 64 East is busy from McKnight to Big Bend. On 370 West at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And in Illinois, there's a slowdown on 64 West from US 50 in O'Fallon to near 159 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at AAASTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
32 degrees officially, and we're going to head all the way up to 50. We'll take it. 8:32. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Iran is marking the 47th anniversary of its 1979 Islamic Revolution amid internal and external pressures. State TV showed pro-government rallies with chants against the United States and Israel. U.S. employers added 130,000 jobs last month. That's according to the U.S. Labor Department, which also reports that the unemployment rate fell to 4.3%. In local headlines, Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway announced that her office has filed suit against 5 retail shops for operating illegal gambling machines and providing public access to unlicensed and unregulated games. The suit alleges this is in direct violation of the Missouri Merchandising Practices Act. And the University of Missouri is planning to sell naming rights to Memorial Stadium. Tiger Athletics announced yesterday it will move forward with securing corporate naming rights to the stadium. 34 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Every day, you're out there, up before the sun, and pushing forward before the chaos of the day settles in. At Great Southern, we're right there with you because we understand the need for trusted support. Having a team that is seasoned, agile, ready, an award-winning team that knows their customers personally and is behind them at every step. There to assist you, inspire you, and echo your inner dialogue in those quiet moments. Keep going. Whether you're getting ready to meet the day or working on something big, we're your team. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no-reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, it's 8:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we check in with Randy Carricker. Randy, good to have you back, my friend.
McGraw, always good to talk to you, sir. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, you betcha. What make sense of this Missouri story? They want to sell the naming rights, which is not that big of a deal, but dropping the name Memorial from the stadium, that's going to ruffle a couple of feathers.
Yeah, the stadium was named Memorial Stadium after World War I soldiers that sacrificed their lives in World War I. And Mizzou has said, they said in their announcement that they're selling the naming rights to the stadium, that they're working with veterans groups, and they want to make sure that those people's feelings are assuaged, because Memorial, if and when the naming rights are sold to the stadium, will not be part of the stadium anyway. McGraw, nobody calls it Memorial Stadium anyway. Everybody calls it Faurot Field.
Yeah.
And I don't know that when whatever the naming rights might be, whether it's Big 550 Stadium or whatever it might be, I think people are still going to call it Faurot Field. So I don't know that Memorial Stadium is that big of a deal for the general populace, but they do have to respect the veterans and the memories of those veterans, and Mizzou needs to find a way to do that.
Yeah. It's an interesting, have to tread very lightly and very carefully as you honor those veterans, right? I mean,
and I don't know why, like, for example, how about National Car Rental Memorial Stadium? Why not just leave the memorial in there?
Well,
I don't know why that's so difficult.
Yeah, but then that's sort of soiling the memory if it's attached to an advertisement, right? I mean, you're not going to sell, you're not going to call it Bob's Bar and Grill Arlington Cemetery, right? You're just sort of, so I don't know. It's a tread lightly. I would advise a Mizzou to tread lightly.
And the thing is, in all sports now, just follow the money, because the money is going to rule. And it really, that sort of tradition, I think, is out the window when it comes to the way that teams and schools can generate revenue, right? It's ultimately it's going to be about, okay, how can we generate the most money for a football team?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to buy the field name, would they drop Faurot Field, right?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Or the court, would they change the name of Norm Stewart Court to whatever,
right.
Like Bob's Bar and Grill Court.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah, Coca-Cola Court, because Coca-Cola's paying more money, and so you just sort of push aside the history of it. It's a very difficult and delicate conversation to have. We'll wait and see how they handle it. Speaking of money and confusing, ESPN announced that they're back in the baseball game in the app business and MLB TV business, and I tried to read that story 3 times yesterday, and I have absolutely no idea how to watch any baseball game coming up this season.
Well, the thing is, wherever you'll be able to watch it. Now, what ESPN is doing is they're going to be selling subscriptions with their ESPN Plus, and you'll be able to buy a national package. You won't be able to buy a Cardinal package this year from ESPN, maybe in 2027, but ESPN is just kind of treading in lightly in terms of building their base with streaming baseball. And they're going to wind up with the streaming rights to a lot of football games too, with the acquisition of NFL Network. But yeah, they're teaming up with MLB, and MLB has always done it themselves. I don't know, McGraw, in the long term, if MLB and ESPN are both going to sell these packages. But we do know this, that for the Cardinals, you're going to buy Cardinals.tv. And ESPN is not going to be selling that. If you're in St. Louis or in our region and you want to watch the Cardinals, you're going to have to buy Cardinals TV. And if you want to watch baseball on a national basis on a streaming level, then you can go to either ESPN or MLB.tv. And oh, by the way, MLB.tv historically has been available free for subscribers to T-Mobile. I would imagine that T-Mobile will still do that, so that's a pretty good deal.
Okay, so I have MLB TV. I pay my $129 every year
so you can watch the Mets, right?
Right. So, and the Cardinals have been blocked out on that. If I buy MLB TV, do I have to pay more for the Cardinals not to be blocked out? How do I watch the Cardinals on MLB TV?
Yeah, the only way to watch locally is to buy the local streaming device or package, and that is Cardinals.tv, which is a separate entity from MLB.tv. MLB.tv, as far as I know and understand, will still have Cardinal games blocked out in St. Louis.
Oh, so I got to go to a different app then to watch the Cardinals.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't make it easy.
Or cheap, by the way.
I mean, well, it's funny you mention that, right? I get the charging me, a fortune. Just don't abuse me while you're charging me all this money, right? Make it easy for me while you're robbing me blind.
Right. And by the way, I wonder, and I brought this up on our show yesterday, because I kind of think that most fans, not everybody, because you like to watch a lot of different baseball. It's my job, and I like to. But I think most fans will like to watch the Cardinals and probably not MLB.TV. I think most Cardinal fans are not necessarily going to tune in to watch the Rays and the Orioles on a Tuesday night, right? I don't know, unless you're from, like, you grew up as a Mets fan, so it's different. If you're a fan of a different team, then you get MLB.TV, but then you don't necessarily have to have the Cardinals.
Right. Yeah. There's not just a general interest in the San Diego Padres playing the Texas Rangers on a Wednesday. That's
right.
No, that's a good point. You watch the Cardinals all day long, and that's why you watch the Cardinals here in St. Louis. It's a good point. Hey, before we let you go, this basketball season is shaping up to be, it could be legendary, right? Illinois could be a number 1 seed. Could St. Louis be sent to a St. Louis regional? Could Mizzou be sent to a St. Louis regional? Could all 3 teams play here in St. Louis?
Theoretically possible. Joe Lenardi, who does a great job of projecting the tournament, and he's got his pretty much twice a week. He's got bracketology. At the moment, he has Illinois as a 2 seed here in St. Louis, and St. Louis University as a 7 seed playing at Enterprise Center here in St. Louis. He's got Mizzou as one of the first 4 out. There's 68 teams in the tournament. He has Mizzou right now as number 70. Joe Lenardi does. But Mizzou has an opportunity with 4 games against ranked teams. They can work their way into the tournament, and they could play here in St. Louis as well. And I think it'd be awesome to have those 3. It'd be a bummer to have them knock each other out, but it'd be great to have 1 or 2 of them in St. Louis.
I mean, that'd be one for the ages, really, when you think about it. I mean, that's right, to have SLU taking on Illinois at the Enterprise Center for a trip to go to the Sweet 16. That'd be a sweet little deal.
That would be epic. And St. Louis always does support the NCAA tournament, and the St. Louis Sports Commission does an amazing job of bringing these events to town. But this would be the biggest one ever. If you have the Illini and or SLU, I think just SLU in and of themselves, if they're playing at Enterprise Center, I can't imagine that there would be a better home court advantage in the NCAA tournament than SLU playing right down the street from their college, from their university.
Yeah, good point. Randy Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Dalco Home Remodeling McGraw, and they've been in the business of remodeling homes in the St. Louis area for nearly 5 decades. And what they do is fantastic work on roofs and doors and siding. And if you want great work done from people that you can trust, then you need to get in touch with Dalco Home Remodeling. Why? Because they've been around for 50 years. They have an office in St. Louis, and you know that A, they've done great work because they've lasted for 50 years here in St. Louis, and B, if something goes wrong with your project, they're going to be available. And they want to make sure at Dalco that you are happy with the job that you have done. All you need to do is hop online. Go to DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. If you want the best work done in St. Louis for your roof, for your siding, for your doors, it's Dalco Home Remodeling.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, the latest is an accident on 44 East at Grand. There's a crash on 141 South past Fiedler in the Fenton area. 270 North is heavy from Big Bend to near 64. 64 West crowded from Hampton past Clayton Skinker. 64 East is busy from 170 to Big Bend. On 370 West at 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work. And in Illinois, there's a slowdown on 64 West from US 50 in O'Fallon to near 159 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
Meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs into the lower 50s, mostly sunny skies into Thursday, mostly cloudy. Could see an isolated shower or two. Highs into the upper 40s. Most of the region remaining dry. Friday, partly sunny. Highs into the mid 50s. By Saturday, still looking at some scattered chances of showers up to 40%. 52 degrees by the afternoon hours. Will warm into Sunday afternoon, 57 degrees with clouds continuing to clear. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550. KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, here's one for you. Are they going to sell the rights to the song that is sung at the beginning of games? So instead of the national anthem, we're going to sing the Pepsi jingle? Don't like the Trump and steal. No, don't be like Trump and steal the memorial like the Kennedy Center. It's a lot of, yeah. Some of us like to watch other MLB teams in Missouri, a.k.a. Royals. Yeah, I don't think the Royals blacked out. Well, they'd be blacked out here in St. Louis. Would they? Would the Royals be blacked out in St. Louis? It's a good question.
No. Why would they? It's not in the DMA, as they say.
Well, like Iowa has like six teams that are blacked out.
Really?
Yeah, and I think the Royals are one of them, actually, come to think of it. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. All right. Hey, let's talk Kevin Lloyd in retirement. You retire, go sit on a beach somewhere and watch the world go by. Sounds like a pretty good deal. But first, you got to get there. First, you have to retire correctly. And that's where Kevin Lloyd comes in, because on February 18th, Kevin Lloyd has another seminar. Last time I checked, he had just a few spots left if you want to go and see Kevin work his magic on the whiteboard. You need help in retirement. I don't care how financially savvy you are. You don't know what Kevin knows when it comes to taxes and investing and dynamic strategies and when's the right time to take Social Security and all those types of things. This is what he does. He is an expert. You have a pain in your foot, you don't go to an optometrist, you go to a specialist, right? That's what Kevin Lloyd is. He's a specialist, and he just happens to specialize in retirement. I've been doing a show with him for years. He will not take me on as a client. Why? Because I'm not close to retirement. That's why he specializes in retirement. You need someone to help you make sure you are reducing your tax liabilities to keep more of that money in your accounts so that it can grow and you can enjoy your retirement. You want a true, honest assessment of where you are in terms of retirement? That's Legacy Wealth Advisors and Kevin Lloyd. 314-641-1010. Call him. You'll thank me later. 314-641-1010 or the website whenretirementhappens.com.
Invest in your future today at Royal Banks of Missouri. With a variety of personal savings, money market, and certificate of deposit account options, their team will guide you to reach your short and long-term financial goals. They also offer individual retirement accounts to help you plan for your life's next chapter. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a branch to find the right account for you and watch your savings grow. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
My name is Dan Head, and I'm the new owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms. We are still a family company with a name trusted by St. Louis for sunrooms for over 40 years. We will continue to proudly serve our loyal customers with beautiful sunrooms, as well as expanded offerings like outdoor fireplaces, outdoor grilling centers, and patio covers. And Patriot Build Sunrooms is proud to support the Backstoppers on KTRS. Give us a call for a free design consultation at 314-822-3232 or online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and good lighting in your home is essential. It's essential for safety, function, mood, and aesthetics. And when it comes to local lighting experts, look no further than Metro Lighting. Right now at Metro Lighting, you can enjoy an additional 20% off already reduced furniture, lamps, artwork, mirrors, and home decor through March 8th. Metro Lighting has 6 convenient locations and online at metrolightingcenters.com.
While supplies last. In-store floor models only. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT. Security.com.
It's Jill Farmer. Medicare is overwhelming. Parts, plans, deadlines. It's a lot. That's why so many of you turn to Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Ryan breaks Medicare down in plain English, helps you compare options, and make sure you're not overpaying or undercovered. No pressure, no confusion, just clear guidance from someone who actually cares. If you're turning 65, already on Medicare, or helping a parent navigate it all, start with someone you can trust. For the right plan, call a Medicare man. 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com.
The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union 1, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
$8:55 here, Big 550 KTRS. Apparently, the girlfriend who was cheated on, the Olympic biathlete who professed his love during the medal ceremony, he won the bronze medal, and they put a microphone in his face, and he said, "I'm sorry, I cheated on my girlfriend." She has spoken, and apparently she's not happy.
He knows how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Is what she said.
That's not good. Did anybody read that story a couple weeks ago that came out? Do you remember, was it the Coldplay concert where the guy, the software CEO, and the woman were caught?
The viral video.
Canoodling during the song?
Yeah.
The New York Times a couple weeks ago did a story on her, and she spoke. And what happened to her, you wouldn't wish on anybody. She started getting death threats from strangers. She was like, look, he's getting a divorce. I was getting a divorce. We were friendly. We were right. And whatever wrong we did, it wasn't the international. We didn't deserve to be internationally
business.
ridiculed. Right. No, it's exactly right. Yeah. And so she started getting death threats, and she couldn't go to her house. And it was unbelievable how the internet just sort of devoured that poor woman and just turned her into an utter joke.
And what happened to them?
Yeah, well, he got fired.
But I mean, did he get death threats and be treated the same way as she was?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was more based on it was more of a conversation about, it was sort of focused on her.
Right.
So I don't really think they really covered his side of the story. But your point is,
it's always the woman.
Your point is well taken.
Jezebel.
But reading the story, you were like, oh my goodness, right? There are real people behind this. There are real human beings whose lives were affected by this. We all thought it was a joke and moved on, but these jokes land on real people and real consequences. And it was a really interesting article about how this woman is having to survive, an innocent Coldplay concert, which she was canoodling with her boss, and all of a sudden became an international joke. It was really an interesting article for what it's worth. Like this person from the Country Club Car Wash text line. Hey, McGraw, everyone claims death threats when they want sympathy. Smuh. Yeah,
shake my head.
You got death threats, huh? You want me to feel sympathetic for you?
McGraw refuses to shake his head.
That's my favorite, though. I'm using that.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, an accident on 44 East at Grand is blocking the 2 left lanes with the stop and go back up to Kings Highway. Estimated clearance time is 9:35. There's a crash on 141 South past Fiedler and Fenton. 270 North is heavy from Big Bend to near Doherty Ferry, and 64 East is busy around 170. This traffic report is brought to you by the HBR Home Expo. Got home projects on your mind? Head to the HBR Home Expo, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. Meet hundreds of experts. Enjoy hands-on DIY Kokedama classes, plus free admission and free parking. The HBR Home Expo. Everything for your home, all in one place. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, hey, McGraw, everyone... Oh, no, I read that one. The Olympian should understand that he's just humiliated his ex that he cheated on. Girl gone. Here's another one. Cardinals are blocked down in Branson. That's good to know. And we'll end on this one. I wish all local haters would stop criticizing you. You don't deserve it. Yeah. Stop hating on me. I don't deserve it. It's 9 o'clock. KTRS St. Louis.
If it's soccer in St. Louis, it's talked about on the Soccer Voice in St. Louis.
The Big 550
KTRS
St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The FAA issuing a report this morning saying that airspace over El Paso, Texas would suddenly be closed for 10 days and that all flights into or out of the airport would be grounded. A few minutes ago, that was lifted. ABC's Gio Benitez with a little more on what happened.
Now we're learning that through sources that apparently the FAA was concerned essentially about flights flying blind because they were doing these military operations there in the area with these drones, but not communicating with the FAA about where these drones were or where they were going. And so the FAA was concerned about flights.
The Trump administration saying Mexican cartel drones had breached U.S. airspace. Reaction coming in to a federal grand jury in Washington refusing to indict 6 members of Congress who put out a video urging U.S. service members not to follow illegal orders. Here's ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Democrats reacted with outrage to the news. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said the grand jury upheld and honored the Constitution, which he said the president and his, quote, corrupt Republican sycophants lack the character to do. Historically speaking, it's very rare for grand jurors to reject an indictment offered on the recommendation of federal prosecutors, but it has been happening with increasing frequency as the Trump Justice Department has tried to pursue politically charged cases.
A better-than-expected report on jobs, followed by a revision on jobs for last year, which was worse than expected. All of it coming from the Labor Department. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
Beyond the 130,000 jobs created in January, the Bureau of Labor Statistics issued its final employment figures for all of 2025, revising the earlier number down by 898,000 on a seasonally adjusted basis. Economists see that as a sign of continued weakness in the labor market.
After putting out a video showing a man tampering with Nancy Guthrie's home security camera, police in Arizona questioning a man, then releasing him overnight. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watched Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top-notch. She doesn't just know the market. She knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to LaurenRisleyRealty.com.
Hi, St. Louis. Need a reliable roofer? Look no further than Connor Roofing, your local, family-owned roofing company, proudly serving our community since 1993. Born right here in St. Louis, we're committed to providing top-notch service and quality you can trust. Call us today at 314-375-7475 or visit us online at connorroofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com. Remember, you can count on Connor.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at McKnightPlace.com.
Managing attorney of Milton Law Group, STL tax lawyer Mark Milton. is widely recognized as one of the top tax resolution attorneys in the country. Mark and his team provide trusted legal representation to troubled taxpayers, specializing in tax debt resolution, tax audit defense, and unfiled tax returns. For a local solution to your IRS problems, contact STL Tax Lawyer Mark Milton by visiting stltaxlawyer.com.
Choice of a lawyer's an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
36 degrees at 9:04. One person is dead after a fire at an abandoned bus terminal in North St. Louis. Firefighters were called last night to a fire at the terminal that was once operated by Greyhound along the 1400 block of North 13th Street. An individual was found deceased inside of the burning terminal. The victim's name has not been released. The cause of the fire is being investigated. An arrest has been made in connection with a deadly shooting at a Starbucks in South City. Police say a 58-year-old man was taken into custody in yesterday's shooting of a woman at the Starbucks on South Grand. The victim, who has not been identified, was taken to an area hospital where she later died. The suspect's name is being withheld pending charges. New legislation in the Missouri House of Representatives is designed to provide a clear framework of visitation and oversight practices of state detention centers. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
State Representative Jeremy Dean's bill is designed to establish more consistent visitation and oversight standards at all detention centers in Missouri, and also addresses a gap in current law by setting visitation provisions for county and municipal jails, which are not presently governed by state statute. Dean says that Missouri law should clearly define how detention centers operate, and that the state has a responsibility to ensure detention centers are subject to oversight and public accountability. House Bill 3270 moves ahead and will now be considered during the current legislative session. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
A bill aimed at eliminating safety inspections for some vehicles in Missouri is advancing. House Bill 1838 needs to clear one more vote in the House before moving on to the Senate. The bill would end the program making vehicles with more than 150,000 miles or vehicles 10 years or older have to pass a required safety inspection every 2 years. Teen workers in Missouri may soon see lower wages. A state Senate proposal calls for decreasing the minimum wage for Missouri workers under 18 years old from $15 per hour to $12.30 per hour. Republican State Senator Joe Nicola filed the bill after business owners approached him with concerns over the state's rising minimum wage. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll Florist wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 244 points to 50,500. The S&P is up 36 points to 7,000. And the NASDAQ is up 119 points to 23,300. In KTRS Sports, number 8, Illinois basketball was upset in overtime by Wisconsin at home 92-90. Freshman Keaton Wagler scored 34, but it was not enough as the Illini drop their second in a row. Mizzou basketball travels to Texas A&M tonight for a pivotal SEC showdown in the Lone Star State. Expanded pregame coverage on the Big 550 starts at 7 p.m. this evening. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose, an accident on 44 East at Grand is blocking the 2 left lanes with the stop and go back up to Kings Highway. Estimated clearance time is 9:35. There's a crash on 141 South past Fiedler in Fenton, and 64 East is a little busy around 170. This traffic report is brought to you by AAA Home Services. Call AAA Home Services, St. Louis's trusted home services repair team for 56 years for all your heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200, online at aaa.stl.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, partly cloudy today with an overnight, actually sunny today with a high of 50, partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 31, and tomorrow cloudy with a high near 60. Currently 36 degrees at 9:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, inviting you to join me October 24th as we journey in search of Iceland's magical Northern Lights with Colette. We're going to experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the Northern Lights, one of nature's most dazzling light displays. We'll see steaming lava fields, massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys, not to mention thundering waterfalls. We'll travel the Golden Circle and walk on a black volcanic sand beach, plus relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. This and so much more. Colette handles the details from flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Join me and call our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or go to ktrs.com to learn more. That number again, 314-968-9600.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The All Things Basement T experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry out that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law want to remind you that February is Heart Health Month. Getting hurt on the job or in a car wreck is not for the faint of heart. Call now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Hey, it's Heidi, and if the new year means a new look for your home, look no further than Dalco Home Remodeling. Let me just tell you, customers could not be happier. If you're looking for new windows, Dalco Home Remodeling has you covered. If you're looking for a new door, they can custom make you a front door. They can do French doors, they can do sliding doors, and they can stain it or paint it to whatever you have going on or whatever new color you want to add. Let me just tell you about some of the happy clients. You've got Alex who said, I had Dalco replace several windows and doors on one of my properties, did a top quality job for me, would definitely recommend. And he's just one of many. You know, Dalco Home Remodeling has been around for more than 50 years. They are family owned and family operated. So if you're ready to get your dream project underway, go to DalcoHomeRemodeling.com. You can also give them a call at 314-298-7300.
For over 60 years, Royal Banks of Missouri has been committed to serving our communities with purpose and providing our clients with exceptional service to help them achieve their financial goals. Stop by any of their locations in St. Louis, St. Charles, Illinois, or Northeast Missouri to discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can support you at any step in life's journey. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com for more information. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
(9:13) here, Big 550 KTRS. Catherine Hanaway going after the illegal gambling machines. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. But my old friend, Mr. Singer, called us up. Benjamin Singer called us up the other day and said, hey, any chance I can come on the show and talk about what I'm working on? And I said, absolutely. We first met Ben a couple years ago when he was working on a couple of other different statewide initiatives. Benjamin Singer, welcome back to the Big 550 KTRS.
What's up, McGraw? Thanks for having me back.
You betcha. We first heard about you because you were trying to get Missouri to do more of they call it ranked choice voting, but we were talking off the air. There's something the next step, the way the city picks a mayor, right? You guys were trying to get Missouri to go more in that general direction.
Yeah, I mean, people were sick of the city elections being based on who can get 35% in the Democratic primary instead of who can be accountable to a majority of people.
Right.
So we put together a policy with nonpartisan elections that everyone could get behind. We got about 70% of the city to vote. A lot of Republicans were also excited about it. And yeah, we hate extremism. We hate corruption. I'm the CEO of Show Me Integrity, and those are the things that we fight. And we don't just like saying, oh, we fight, donate to us. We actually like passing solutions so we can solve the problem once and for all and get better government that actually listens to people. So that's what this is about. We've had politicians just disrespecting voters, and we're done with that, and we're ready to do something better.
Do you think Kara Spencer is the mayor of the city of St. Louis because they changed the way they count the votes?
I don't think so. I think she would have gotten elected under any system. I mean, that was a landslide, McGraw.
Right, yeah. Yeah, interesting, though, nonetheless. Okay, so before we get to ranked choice voting and open voting and all that type of stuff, you have another idea you want to talk about, which is this one. What is this one?
Yeah, I mean, this gets to the fundamentals of what America is supposed to be about, right? We were at one point a shining beacon on a hill where we had democracy and the rest of the world didn't. And now here in Missouri, we're one of 11 states that still lets politicians just undo elections after people have voted on them. So, you know, I was the communications director for an initiative in 2018 called Clean Missouri that passed a bunch of anti-corruption reforms to the state legislature. And then the politicians in Jeff City just threw it back on the ballot with trick language, a first line that wasn't at all what it was about. And they've done that a bunch. Both Democrats and Republicans have pulled that crap. And they undid it. You know, they tricked voters into undoing it, put a bright, shiny object at the top, and buried their real purpose in the fine print.
Yeah, what was the line they used?
Yeah, so when we passed Clean Missouri, the first line on the ballot was, you know, change process and criteria for redistricting, right? Stop politicians from drawing these crazy lines,
right,
and picking their own voters.
Yeah.
So when they threw it back on the ballot, well, I should also say when we passed it, our fine print was also banning lobbyist gifts. It used to be lobbyists could give politicians unlimited gifts. They could give them a yacht, a trip to Brazil, a house. And they did some of that. You know, there were trips to Brazil. There were Chiefs tickets.
Right.
You know, there was a gravy train flowing in Jeff City. Actually, a lot of lobbyists have thanked us since then, saying, thank you so much. I don't have politicians calling me up and asking me to put things on my tab. But 2 years later, so we limited it to $5. So a lobbyist could buy them like a cup of coffee or give them a free pen with their logo, and that's it.
Right.
So 2 years later, what voters saw on their ballot, the first line was ban lobbyist gifts to legislators. And we'd already limited it from infinity to $5. They were taking it from 5 to 0. But what the fine print was allowing gerrymandering again, allowing politicians to draw these insane lines and pick their own voters. And we heard from a lot of voters who said, crap, I voted for that. I meant to vote against that, but it was so confusing. And we're all used to this. Our surveys and our town halls show all voters across the spectrum, when they walk into a voting booth, they don't trust or they don't understand the language they see in front of them. I have a family member who's a lawyer and said, I don't know what this thing is about.
Yeah. So the language on the ballot said, let's ban lobbyist gifts altogether, which was great. And then while you were voting for that, you were also voting to repeal the gerrymandering.
To end gerrymandering, yeah. And the lobbyist gift change they were making was meaningless.
Right, yeah.
We had already made that change. And they do the same crap. They did the same thing back in 2024. They had a first line on one of the ballot measures that was allow only citizens to vote. Well, that's already been law for 100 years. So what's that really about?
Right.
And it was they didn't want to be held more accountable. And so what they were banning was all party primaries. They were banning approval voting like in the city of St. Louis because they've seen city voters have held politicians accountable, and they've kicked a lot of politicians out of office who weren't doing their job. And the politicians in Jeff City don't want to actually have to do their job. And so they don't want those kind of systems like approval voting that allow voters to hold them accountable.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying that the ballots in the statewide initiatives, the ballots are written by the politicians?
Yeah, but they're written by partisan politicians, whoever's in charge, whether that's a Democrat or a Republican. So if it's an initiative that comes from the people, a citizen ballot initiative, we've had those for over 100 years in Missouri,
right?
That gets written by the partisan Secretary of State. And if it's something that the legislature wants to put on the ballot, then the ballot summary is written by the legislature itself. So the legislature, which has its own agenda and wants to pass something, also gets to put its thumb or really its whole arm on the scale and write the language in a way that's designed to get the result they want. And that's not right. We believe that voters should know what they're voting on, and citizens should have the right to sue in court if the language is misleading, and courts should have the power to rewrite misleading ballot language.
I thought that the courts have gotten involved with this, and the courts have said, no, that's a bridge too far. It has to be more accurate.
Yeah, it has happened. The problem has been that politicians have written the language in a way that can be technically true. You know, like I said, like they're adding to the Constitution.
Right.
You know, changing the word all citizens can vote into only citizens can vote, making semantic changes that then they can reflect in that first line, even though it's already in the Constitution or it's already in law.
Right.
And so courts have rewritten a lot of misleading ballot language, but they've shown that they're following the precedent, which is make as few changes as possible. If you can change one word and make it technically accurate, they leave the misleading language at the top and the fine print at the bottom.
Right.
And so what's in the Respect Missouri Voters constitutional amendment, which you can read at respectmovoters.org, it says that ballot language has to be clear, unbiased, fair, accurate, easy to understand, and not misleading. And if citizens feel it doesn't meet those criteria, they can sue in court to make sure that it is written that way. And it tells courts you can rewrite it in whole or in part to make sure that it is clear, unbiased, fair, accurate, and easy to understand. Because, McGraw, I know this is a crazy idea, but when voters walk into the voting booth and read what they're being asked to vote yes or no on, they should be able to understand exactly what that thing is.
There's a limit as to how many characters you can have on a ballot, right? You can't have a dissertation on there.
That's right, 100
It's got to
words.
be a headline so that you can understand what it is and vote yes or no on.
That's right. And I actually think that's a good thing, that in Missouri, it's limited to 100 words, so politicians can't just drown you with half a page of dense text.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to change that. We just want to make sure that they're not putting things in there that are already in law or already in the Constitution and burying their, secret agenda that they're trying to pull the wool over voters' eyes.
Okay, so where are you in this process?
Yeah, so we're really excited. This has been a broad bipartisan campaign. We've had voters across the state help gather signatures. So we're about halfway to the ballot. We've had now 1,300 volunteers. Last I looked, we were at 1,299. So if you're listening to this, be our 1,300th volunteer to gather and turn in signatures. We've gathered well over 100,000 signatures. We have to get to about 300,000 to get on the November ballot. And we have to turn those signatures in at the beginning of May. So that means we need volunteers to contact us, sign up at respectmovoters.org, get trained, gather, 10, 20, 50 signatures from family, friends, or at your book club, church, whatever, and turn them into us in April. And we can get this on the ballot and finally stop politicians from deceiving voters with trick ballot language.
It's not easy getting an initiative petition on the ballot because not only do you need the numbers, but they have to come from certain districts, right? Every congressional district has to be equally represented in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, they have to come from all over the state. We're gathering in all 8 congressional districts. We'll have to qualify with enough in 6 of 8 districts, and that means you have to gather in places rural, urban, suburban, you name it. It's a really tall order. Missouri's one of the toughest states to get something on the ballot.
And actually hindering citizen petitions. And keeping it, since it's so hard, only regulated to the people who have a lot of money who can put it on the ballot by using a lot of money.
I'm so glad you said that because the narrative that politicians in Jeff City push, and Democrats did the same thing when they were in charge, is that, it's so easy. Anyone can just amend the Constitution. We need to make it harder. And what happens when they make it harder is they actually take that freedom out of citizens' hands and put it only in the hands of billionaires and special interests who can afford the millions of dollars to just pay people to do it, not volunteers like us.
Yeah.
We've been a completely crowdfunded, volunteer-driven movement, and it's so dishonest what they say. But people can see in black and white what's in a ballot initiative, and again, they can see ours at respectmovoters.org. And I want to tell the story of when Democrats were in charge. But go ahead, McGraw. What was your question?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Benjamin Singer, our guest. That website one more time.
respectmovoters.org.
Hold that thought. We'll talk more with Benjamin Singer. A couple more things I want to get to him about. Let's talk about St. Louis Closet Company, because if you would like to organize your thoughts, I can't help you. Jennifer Williams from St. Louis Closet Company can't help you. But if you want to organize your pantry, now that they can help you with. Because St. Louis Closet Company is a St. Louis company. Do not be fooled. Do not make a mistake and go with an out-of-towner. You want to go with somebody who is in St. Louis, supports St. Louis, hires St. Louisans, has a company here in St. Louis. You want to make sure it's the original St. Louis Closet Company. She started this 30-plus years ago, and at that time, nobody else was organizing closets. She was the first. She brought the whole concept here to St. Louis. Since then, there have been a lot of knockoffs and a lot of people try and pretend to be just like St. Louis Closet Company. But as we know, there can be only one, and that is on Big Bend, right just north of Manchester Road. And the showroom says it all. Go see all the new colors. They got blue. They got a green that are really cool. They got new accessories, whether it's hooks or drop-down hooks and new fangled drawer pulls and latches and soft clothes, and they've got it all at St. Louis Closet Company, right there just north of Manchester Road on Big Bend. 314-781-9000, 314-781-9000, or stlouisclosetco.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, 2 stalled cars on 44 East at Grand are blocking the left lane with a slowdown back to Kings Highway. And on 370 west of 141, 2 lanes are closed for emergency repair work until 3 o'clock this afternoon. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. The Rack House has made Whiskey Advocate magazine's top whiskey bars in the country list for the 3rd time. Select menu items are double for the price of a single for Whiskey Wednesday each week, and today is Wednesday at the Rack House in Cottleville. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Big 550 KTRS is live, local, and so are you, which is why you should shop local. Your money stays local, creating jobs that are local, local customers in local stores. Triad Bank is also local, a big part of the St. Louis community, and has teamed up with KTRS to present Shop Local Business Salutes throughout the day. After all, we live here too. Listen for Shop Local Business Salutes, sponsored by Triad Bank. Your business, your family, your bank. And the Big 550 KTRS, live and local.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deal.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. I'm combating wintertime blues by purchasing cool cars and motorcycles. Do you have a unique, low-mile, or super clean car you'd like to sell? Call me. I'm looking for Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, Harleys, Ducatis, Porsches, or anything super low-mile and super clean. Even everyday cars if they're exceptionally nice and well cared for. I'll come to you if you're in the St. Louis area, especially if you have more than one vehicle to sell. It's okay if you have a loan on it. We'll make the payoff. We make it easy. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. We'll take it from there.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watched Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top notch. She doesn't just know the market, she knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to LaurenRisleyRealty.com.
Honey, he says we're in legal trouble and we're going to lose our retirement. We have to get to a crypto ATM now.
This can't be right.
It's not right. I'm Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. We've received reports of devastating new scams involving crypto ATMs.
Let's report this.
We're here to help. Report suspected fraud at 800-392-8222 or visit ago.mo.gov.
Sponsored by the Missouri Attorney General's Office. Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS. Streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app.
Powered by JBL Financial.
Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
The Big 550 KTRS has supported the Backstoppers for the past 5 years, and they are stepping up again this year. In that spirit, and to raise money for this great cause, Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles is proud to co-sponsor this event. Backstoppers provides approximately $2.5 million each year to support these heroes. Please join Gingham's Restaurant and KTRS to support this great organization.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there is so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quantity time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV. Byerly RV. Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly RV.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's cold.
So bring the heat with Dogtown Pizza. Warm up these winter months with one of 13 different flavors, from the new SOB, sausage, onion, bacon, to a 4-meat or veggie. Or how about the all-star this time of year? I'm looking at you, hot chicken. Heat up those ovens and warm up those bones with a hot Dogtown Pizza, and tell Jack Frost to take a hike. These cold winter months are upon us, so take a trek to Dogtown. Dogtown Pizza, of course.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
9:32 here, Big 550 KTRS. Benjamin Singer joins us for a couple of more minutes. What's the website where people can find out more?
RespectMoVoters.org. Come volunteer.
RespectMoVoters.org. And you're trying to get a initiative petition on the ballot. Would it be a constitutional amendment?
That's right.
Which would basically provide simple and accurate and unbiased language on ballot initiatives.
That's right.
Yeah. You have a number of endorsements, a wide spectrum of endorsements all across the political spectrum.
You got it.
Name some of them for me.
We've got former U.S. Senator John Danforth from the St. Louis area. We've got former State Senator Marvin Singleton, also a Republican from the Joplin area. Another Republican, former Senator Bob Johnson from Lee's Summit, which is a suburb of Kansas City. We've got Democrats, too. Former Representative Crystal Quaid, who ran for governor last election. She's from Springfield. So we've got folks from all over and organizations. We've got Veterans for All Voters. We have Metropolitan Congregations United, which is a bunch of churches. We've got the Missouri NAACP. So, I mean, these people don't agree on a whole lot, but what they do agree on is that the government should actually be listening to the people, not lying, not trying to take away our freedom of the citizen initiative that we've had for over a century, and not trying to throw out our votes and say, oh, no, the voters are stupid. You know, the politicians should have our way and be able to legalize corruption.
Yeah, and so you're going to need 300,000 votes, and then this will be on. Now, the other interesting thing is that the governor gets to choose which election these initiative petitions get to be on.
That's right. I mean, but this is very popular. Our polling shows voters all across the political spectrum love this. This is just about the fundamentals of what America is supposed to be about, a representative government. So we're confident we're going to pass at the ballot. We just have to get on the ballot, and that's why we need more volunteers to show up, because this has always been a volunteer-driven movement, because there's no big money that was willing to pay for us to move this forward. So we bootstrapped this, and that's why thousands of volunteers have come together. And it's not partisan, right? When Democrats ran the legislature, they didn't like that Missourians were using the citizen initiative process to limit taxes. Past initiatives came from the people to say, hey, you got to stop raising taxes at some point. State, local taxes. At some point, enough's enough. And the Democrats didn't like that. And so they passed a bill that would have made it much harder to ever do citizen initiatives again. And it was conservative Republican former governor John Ashcroft who said, and I quote, when he vetoed it, he said, "It is through the initiative process that those who have no influence with elective representatives may take their cause directly to the people."
Yeah.
That's what this is about. It's about the people versus politicians.
All right, one more time. How do people register to volunteer?
Yeah, sign up at www.respectmovoters.org. That's respectmovoters.org.
And you hope to get this on the ballot for this coming year.
That's right, but only if we get enough signatures.
And when's the deadline? May? What?
We have to turn them in May 3rd, which means we need volunteers to help us gather them in March and April. So get out there and come to one of our trainings, or we have online trainings, get a clipboard, and let's gather some signatures.
Not only do you need as you're mentioning, right, the enough signatures, which I think is what, 5% of the vote or something?
Because it's a constitutional amendment, it's much harder. It's 8% in 6 of the 8 districts, so it's a lot.
And it's registered voters.
That's right.
And if you have a registered voter who lives in St. Charles but signs the St. Louis County, that doesn't count.
That's right, and that's why we have to gather so many more signatures than are even legally required, because sometimes, especially like in the St. Louis area, city, county, a lot of voters sign the wrong page. They sign for St. Louis County when they live in the city, or vice versa.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, one of the cannabis initiatives failed by like 6 votes or something, and they didn't get on the ballot. And the guy was sitting in your seat, and I said, "Well, what idiot signed the wrong sheet?" And they said, "Oddly enough, you were one of the ones."
That's amazing.
I signed the wrong one. I signed out of it was St. Louis County. I wasn't where I was living, but whatever I signed the other one, and they kicked my name off. And there's somebody, right? I mean, think about this. You have to find enough people in enough districts, and they all have to be registered voters, and they all have to have proper IDs, and you got it right, and the proper signatures and the proper line on the proper form, and that counts as one. And you need 300,000 of them. But not just 300,000 of them. You need them 300,000 in all the different areas equally.
That's right. And there's a lot that don't get counted because we gather them in like 2 of the 8 districts where we don't end up needing to qualify. But we have volunteers in all 8 districts, every part of the state, gathering signatures. But yeah, it's really hard. And the politicians who claim it's so easy, you know what's funny? When they talk about this, they say, oh, we need to make it harder to amend the Constitution. Well, I'll give you one guess on which which way we amend the Constitution is responsible for 85% of our constitutional amendments, whether it's coming from the politicians or coming from the people. It's coming from the politicians.
Yeah.
And yet what they're proposing is something that would make it impossible to pass future citizen initiatives by raising the threshold dramatically, but doesn't do anything to raise the threshold on themselves, who are responsible for the vast majority of when our Constitution gets amended.
Yeah, they want to change the initiative petition to make it 60% or 65% or whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be it would allow a tiny minority of Missourians to basically veto the will of the people across the state, and that's not what America is supposed to be about. So if you're sick of politicians being out of touch and not listening to you, sign up at respectmovoters.org.
Ben Singer, thanks for checking in. Let us know how it goes.
Always great to be with you, McGraw.
All right, check that 9:38 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk appliance discounters because it's as simple as this. They have 6 area locations and they have name brand appliances. And if you're looking for an appliance, the name says it all, Appliance Discounters. They sell appliances at deep discounts. They have an 80,000 square foot warehouse filled with appliances. They have got same as cash financing up to 18 months. They have next day delivery. They have locally owned and operated. They've got great salespeople who will help you. Factory rebates sometimes can give you as much as $1,500 in a rebate. And as if you need any more of an incentive, right now, Appliance Discounters is giving you an extra 5% off just for walking in the door and buying an appliance from Appliance Discounters. 6 area locations: Baldwin, Maplewood, St. Charles, St. Louis County, South County, Afton, Earth City, and, of course, online, theappliancediscounters.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, inviting you to join me October 24th as we journey in search of Iceland's magical Northern Lights with Colette. We're going to experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the Northern Lights, one of nature's most dazzling light displays. We'll see steaming lava fields, massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys, not to mention thundering waterfalls. We'll travel the Golden Circle and walk on a black volcanic sand beach, plus relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. This and so much more. Colette handles the details from flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Join me and call our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or go to ktrs.com to learn more. That number again, 314-968-9600.
Every day, you're out there, up before the sun, and pushing forward before the chaos of the day settles in. At Great Southern, we're right there with you because we understand the need for trusted support. Having a team that is seasoned, agile, ready, an award-winning team that knows their customers personally and is behind them at every step. There to assist you, inspire you, and echo your inner dialogue in those quiet moments. Keep going. Whether you're getting ready to meet the day or working on something big, we're your team. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC.
Let's meet the contestants on today's dating game.
Contestant number 1, I'm upside down. What can you do for me?
Not much, but HW Kia will pay off your trade even if you owe thousands more than it's worth.
Contestant number 2, if I'm a first-timer or been turned down, what can you do for me?
Nothing, but HW Kia can get first-time buyers, customers turned down, and those with a job clearing $450 per week approved.
Contestant number 3, my monthly bill comes and it's more than I can pay. What can you do for me?
Not a thing, but you'll never overpay at HW Kia. Get a brand new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty for under 20 grand.
Well, there's no contest. I choose HW Kia.
Don't be pushed into a blind deal. Pick the winner, HW Kia in West County. New Kia K4LXS, just $19,995. Plus, bring any trade and get up to 120% over KBB fair market value. HWKia.com.
On approved credit, not all will qualify, plus tax, title, license, and 587 title and registration processing fee. Negative equity refinanced and new loan. Rebates and incentives to dealer. Offers not in combination. Expires 3/2/26.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
Get your season tickets now for the 2026 Stages St. Louis. The 2026 season is kicked off with the always hilarious 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls. Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call today to reserve your group's individual or season tickets. 314-821-2407. or visit them online at stagesstlewis.org. That's stagesstlewis.org.
It's Jill Farmer for 20 Minutes to Fitness. According to new research reported by the New York Times, you don't need hours at the gym or daily workouts to get real health benefits. In fact, scientists say even one short, well-designed strength workout a week can make a meaningful difference. That's because it's not about how long you work out, it's about how effectively you train. A recent European study found people got significantly stronger in just 1 year training once a week, and that's exactly the philosophy at 20 Minutes to Fitness. Just one 20-minute one-on-one strength session a week. No distractions, no wasted time, targeted exercise, specialized equipment, and top-tier trainers. It works. I know, because I'm getting stronger every week. So if you're short on time, burned out on unrealistic fitness plans, or just want something that finally feels doable, maybe less really is more. 20 Minutes to Fitness. One workout, 20 minutes, once a week. And according to science, that's enough. Locations in Chesterfield and Clayton. Try it.
Experience the Academy Award-winning phenomenon Amadeus like never before as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and Chorus perform Mozart's greatest works live to picture, conducted by music director Stefan Deneve. Witness a thrilling rivalry fueled by envy, obsession, and immortal music. Amadeus in concert, February 13th and 14th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
I think I had this on my iPod, actually, at some point. That's Sheryl Crow?
She's 64 today.
Missouri's own, right? Kennett, Missouri's own?
Yes, Kennett, Missouri.
Yeah. 9:45 here, Big 550, KTRS. Did her and
she broke up with everybody.
Brad Pitt go to high school together?
No, he was down in Springfield.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
All right. Speaking of high school, did you hear the story? The coach of the Seattle Seahawks, this Mike McDonald, right? He plays high school football in Georgia and then never plays college football, becomes a volunteer assistant, like a football manager for the University of Georgia, and works his way up and gets a job with the Baltimore Ravens. And works his way up with the Baltimore Ravens, then gets a job with Michigan, works his way up, becomes a defensive coordinator in Michigan, and then finally gets the head coaching job at the Seattle Seahawks. And then on Sunday, he wins the Super Bowl, and he's on the podium receiving the Lombardi Trophy from a woman, I believe's name is Maria Taylor, right? The NBC woman.
Yeah.
Who is an African-American woman who hosted the first African-American woman to host the pregame and the postgame ceremonies for the Super Bowl. She's on the stage and she is, interviewing the owner and the coach and the whole thing with the podium and the whole deal. And she was a star athlete. She played volleyball and I think she ran track. And in her high school yearbook, she was like athlete of the year and was this distinguished athlete and went to college and then got into broadcasting, right? She majored in broadcast journalism, got a job at ESPN, worked her way all the way up, switched over to NBC, worked her way all the way up to NBC, and then she's on the podium with this Mike McDonald, and the two of them are standing on the podium together. And what do they have in common? They both went to the same high school. They were high school friends.
Cedar Shoals.
In Georgia. The two of them went to the same high school. And years later, one is giving the award, the other one's accepting the Lombardi Trophy.
That's kind of cool.
That is a cool story. That is a really, really cool story. That's what makes America great. Right? How much? There's a picture of them embracing. And they were friends in college. She was the star athlete. He was the fifth string linebacker on the football team. He grows up to become a coach. She's the broadcaster, and there's a really really nice embrace when they both get on the stage. Right? Imagine your high school buddy is giving you the Lombardi Trophy. That's really cool. Speaking of interesting things, every time I say this, I have to tell you, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, mostly because I don't think people are smart enough to figure out how to sort of play out a conspiracy. So for no other reason than people aren't smart enough to hold and to fulfill a conspiracy. But if I were, I would have a conspiracy over this Jeffrey Epstein story, because at every turn they keep acting guilty. And so now the newest story is that this Republican Thomas Massie and this Democrat go to the Justice Department and look at the Epstein files on their own.
Unredacted.
Right. So they can see the unedited version of the Epstein files. And in the hour and a half they're there, they find out that the Justice Department inadvertently redacted names of very successful billionaires who just also happen to be friends and acquaintances and visitors to the Jeffrey Epstein Island. Why were billionaire names redacted? That's interesting. So Thomas Massie and this other Democrat are like, okay, here's the deal. These names shouldn't have been redacted, and they should be exposed. And so the FBI was like, oh yeah, well, you're right. We made that mistake. So I'm not saying there's anything nefarious about this. But once again, pictures of women and pictures' names were not redacted. And then once they were found out about, oh, my goodness, they had to bring the files back. Oh, my goodness. Her face should have been blacked out. Oh, wait, her name should have been taken away, right? At the same time, why is this guy's name? You're right. So the
former owner of Victoria's Secret.
So they didn't redact things they should have, and they did black out things they shouldn't have. Isn't that interesting? It's never they consistently. It's always right. It's always the wrong. It's always the white guy. It's always the rich white guy that always gets to. We're sorry, Robert Kraft. Oh my goodness. Yes, we really need to make sure that the law is really, really followed here by the letter of the law. And right, it's the poor black guy. It's the poor minority who's not getting any representation, who gets thrown in jail for 6 years. It's never the rich white guy who gets thrown in jail for 6 years by accident. I'm not advocating we should throw people in jail by accident for six years. What I'm saying is, isn't it interesting that the white guy never gets thrown in jail by accident? The rich white guy never gets thrown in jail, but the poor black man, that guy gets thrown in jail by accident oftentimes. And then, all right, well, we let you out. Now you want us to pay? I mean, we were nice enough to let you out. Now you want us to pay you?
5 years later.
I mean, it's really, really bizarre. And if one was a conspiracy theorist, again, I don't know if they're guilty, but time and time again, they keep acting like they're guilty. Why they're so they have these names. This Thomas Massey, this Republican from Kentucky, spends 2 hours there, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, these names shouldn't. You should expose these names." Oh yeah, you're right. That was in the 6 hours he was there. What's if he had another six hours? How many more things would be fixed? And then, of course, they have these other millions and millions of documents that they're not handing out. Again, do I think? I don't. At this point, I have no idea. I don't think they're guilty, but they sure are acting guilty. And if you were, again, if any of us were in if I was in a situation and there was any question about where I was, who I was with, what I was doing, and I had information that could exonerate me, right? I would get that into the hands of the authorities as fast as humanly possible. I wouldn't turn around and say, oh, and start calling names of the person who's trying to find out the information. All of us would run to exonerate ourselves or anybody else in this situation because, one, it's the right thing to do. These poor women, do you think these poor women are out there in some giant conspiracy trying to bring down your favorite politician by alleging some nefarious acts by these rich men that went on 20 years ago, and they're still keeping up this charade just to hurt your favorite politician? But, God forbid we help these poor women out, right? These women say they want this information released. And oddly enough, we still won't do it. Ken, line one. Good morning, Ken. You're in the Big 550 KTRS.
Yeah, good morning. Hey, wasn't it MTG said that Trump called her and said that a lot of his friends would get hurt?
Yes.
If they release that.
That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Yes.
Well, that kind of looks funny now, doesn't it?
It's even weirder is Elon Musk, right? Oh, Donald Trump's in those files. It turns out Elon Musk is in the files.
Yep. Yep. We might have to wait.
What's even weirder is you've got Norway's queen basically going to take the fall for this. You've got the ambassador from Great Britain's taking the fall for this. You got another guy in Great Britain who's going to fall for this. You got Keir Starmer, the prime minister, who never met Epstein, who's hanging on by a thread over this. So all these people all across the world are being having to answer to their affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein. And you got the Commerce Secretary guy, the Cantor Fitzgerald guy, quoted as saying, once I realized I never saw that man was disgusting. Did you go to his island with your kids and your family and your nanny 5 years later? Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah, no, I did that. Yeah, that was me. Really? I mean, it's unbelievable how these people just blatantly lie, caught in a total lie, and they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, I guess, yeah, well, there was nothing nefarious. We just went to his island and had lunch. But didn't you say he disgusted you to the point where you never wanted to see him again? I mean, it's unbelievable how these people lie.
We might have to wait till Trump gets out of office where the other side can release all the information.
Yeah, well, I know. Again, Ken, thanks for the phone call. I don't know why Joe Biden didn't release all this stuff. There's another great question for you. But again, right, make sure, if I were a conspiracy theorist, I would say they're all in it together, right? Because that rich man is also, that rich guy's friend is also my rich guy's friend. So I don't, they all go to the same clubs. They all go to the same parties. They all go to the same private jets. Right? They all go to the same private islands. They all have the same private friends. So, mutually assured destruction. I released the files. I hurt just as many as my guys as I do your guys. So, right, Howard Lutnick, how does this guy keep his job? And Keir Starmer, who never met Jeffrey Epstein, going to lose his job. How does that work? I don't understand any of it. Dents Express, I do understand. Get your car fixed at Dents Express. DentsExpressSTL.com. They specialize in paintless dent removal, hail damage, and minor collision. 2 convenient locations, St. Charles on Highway 94, and then on Manchester Road in Baldwin. Make an appointment. That's all you need to do is make an appointment. Then when the appointment comes, bring the car over. They'll fix it. And when you get it back, the response from KTOS listeners has been overwhelmingly positive. People can't believe how well of a job they do at fixing all of the dings and dents and scratches and everything else. DentsExpressSTL.com. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, you're naive if you think that the wrong reactions are an accident. I think you missed my sarcasm. I think you missed it. My favorite thing right now is the woman senator from Wyoming who has finally decided, only after reading of a 9-year-old being raped, that she believes now that it's a big deal and all material should be released. Yeah, the 14-year-old girl didn't do it for her, but the 9-year-old girl who was abused, that's what sent her over the edge. All right, we got to go. See you tomorrow. So long, everybody.
Every year, at least 15,000 people in Missouri die from it, leaving behind children, spouses, mothers, and fathers. It's the #1 killer in Missouri. It's heart disease. There is good news. Heart disease can often be prevented, and the Big 550 wants to help with KTRS Red. All this month, American Heart Month. The Big 550 will help improve your heart health with simple changes you can make now to help lower your risk of developing heart disease. Changes like
losing weight,
learning how to stop smoking,
drinking in moderation, watching what you eat,
and becoming more active.
Don't become a statistic. Become heart healthy all February with KTRS Red. KTRS Red is presented by Schrader Funeral Home and Crematory, McKnight Place, Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services Heart Disease Program, Wise Woman Program, and Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law. Mizzou football.
The rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 106.1, K291CW St. Louis.